me, I look you. All this they start soon. Now www.sarahjmedia.org. Now who's tem these?
Hello, my name is Josephine Kamara. I'm the founder of You Can Do It Foundation. You Can Do It Foundation is a charitable organization based in Sierra Leone, West Africa. You Can Do It Foundation has been in existence for the past 2 years. We have been fighting gender-based violence against women and girls within the community. During the past 2 years, we have been offering psychosocial support, counseling, court fee, medical fee, including school items to the survivors of gender-based violence. However, during the lockdown of COVID-19, report received and confirmed that rape cases among a minor has increased tremendously within our community. Because of this, You Can Do It Foundation has secured the land to build an accommodation for the survivors of rape. However, this may almost become impossible without your generous support. We need your help to build this home for the survivors. Your help could be in cash or in kind. If you wish to join us to make a difference in a child's life, please go to our website, which is www.youcandoitcyf.org, or you can go to our GoFundMe page, which is Home of Hope for the survivors of gender-based, or you can contact us with the details at the end of this video. We thank you greatly for your generous support, and thank you once more for making a difference in a child's life.
I was raped multiple times by my aunt's boyfriend when I was 6.
I was repeatedly raped at the age of 8 by a close family member.
I was raped at 19. I didn't speak openly about it because I was ashamed and afraid that people would judge me.
I was raped at age 5 by my caregiver's husband.
On June 17th, 2020, 5-year-old Khadija Sakho, a beautiful little girl from Freetown, Sierra Leone, was repeatedly raped and strangled to death, allegedly by her own cousin. Her death shocked the nation. But in truth, in this small West African country, 9 out of 10 girls experience some form of sexual violence in their lifetime. Think about that for a second. 9 out. Please consider donating whatever you can afford. All monies raised will go to 4 local organizations currently providing free medical and legal services to survivors of others. So this is also a call for you to use your voice, your power, to draw attention to an enduring culture of rape. Together, we must end it now. My name is Aisha Sase. I am Khadija Sakho.
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 We are Khadija Sakho.
We are all Khadija Sakho.
Silverstone Beats.
People killing, people dying, children hurting, hear them crying. You can practice what you preach, or would you turn the other cheek? Father, 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 help us, send some guidance from above. People got me questioning, where is the love?
See this life going evil, we all have to give, oh yeah.
Waiting me, I don't see this kind of thing where they happen. This not for be education opportunity. Now in we need, let we learn for the share, not to all time for big greed.
You see this life, the live, oh. This is where we lose or we know. Stop killing one another. Let's stand together, yeah. Stop playing the hero, looking at each other like a zero. On the block with a C, money dip and make every day pan pre, yeah.
R.I.P. they took our boys, they take our joy, take our joy. This study time we stop now crime. Don't blind by this life, your future.
Stop the stabbing, stop the killing. Let's love one another. Peace.
I see fighting every day, I see dying every day. Why don't we help each other and pave the way for a better life, a life that we all deserve? Instead of killing each other, why don't we preserve? So you wanna be a bad man, he's gonna be a badder man. You got a big knife, he's gonna get a bigger knife. Our people suffered for years in chains. Now we turn on each other, cut for gains. For the ones that send the youth to kill themselves, you pretend to be a father figure but only care for yourself. You are nothing but the flesh of the devil. You're evil, low life on another level. Think about the mothers and the pain they go through. You don't care for these kids, they mean nothing to you. But karma only knows the boomerang maneuver. One day the green reaper will be your remover.
This head of the range ranting up some sanctimonious food is a poetic verses, ruminate a prophecy given to a sentient dude. So I say it's as it is for you to listen and deduce the wisdom that's gonna liberate and galvanize you. Under the sun ain't nothing new, that for black on black crimes and breaking news. Under the sun ain't nothing new.
You gotta stand up. Stand up for what you believe in, gotta stand up. Stand up for what is right, cause if you got me then I've got you too. Regardless of what you've been through, even when you're feeling new. Where is the love? Do this if we try. There's no time to waste, no time. Together forever, whatever the weather.
But me heart still a tongue. God don't lift me up, but me heart still a ground. You will never go far if you don't know where you're from. So I don't do it for myself, I'ma do it for the young. Please tell my brothers, let's do it for the youngers. Why spend a bag on a jumper? Back where you're from, people dying with hunger. With people then they suffer. You then I argue, they bluff, it's copper. You the game need for change. Like we not get soft. Where's the love? Where's the love, yo? Where's the love? I said,
where is the love?
Little youth, let's take time. Stop all the knife and the gun crime. Think of the future, paint that picture. Get a youth in the future. Peace gonna rain on me. Peace gonna rain on me. Yeah.
Let's stop the violence and come together. Get rid of knives and guns and bombs, let's be together. With peace and love, golden hopes through storm and weather. See what is going on. Where is love?
Tell me, how do you feel when you see your brothers and sisters lying down the street helplessly? And what will you do if you die today and find yourself in hell?
I want to ask you this. Look inside your eyes and answer me with all the truth. Where you get, whose side the love they?
When I left. Boku man them get nef. If you live by the nef, you go suffer. You know get sense, you know sabi say nef not for butter. Stabbing guys, yeah that's uncool. When it comes to knives, yeah I'm anti. What happened to fighting guys with your hands, G? When you stab a man, it's not one man you stab. Just remember that you stab a whole family.
People killing, people dying, children hurt and hear them crying. You can practice what you preach, or you will turn the other cheek. Father, 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 help us, send some guidance from above. People got me questioning.
my country, baby. It's a long, it's a long. Now we're doing this. Cloud Diamond, Africa D-Block.
Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, Insai we go. Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, Insai we go. Everybody me say well done. If we all this country so strong, everybody me say stand up. If you like salon, say yeah, 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 yeah. Then say so good in the morning, the land is just gloomy, the moon is going, the cloud is forming, the cocks are crowing, deer is falling, the bags are coming, everybody running, inside Switzerland today, the land is yummy, see the mommy they cooking fufu, the party smoking cigarettes, Rajo they watch baby Musu. We they find out the countries right in West Africa, on the Atlantic Ocean. Inside this land, so much I can boast of. Look at the good plantation, from the beach I get meditation. Make me not wear this nation, I get L-O-V-E for me alone. Yeah, for me alone. Love for me alone, sweet alone. What a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, Insai we go. Sweet alone. What a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, say yeah. Then say yeah.
I know a L-O-V-E-C where love was an L-O place where sweet like gold. We got diamond box, I see fine gold. So that we make count for the young and old. I mean for let we serve, help we serve. Also you come for the wise, you want for put chest. Peace, love and unity, now for put first. For the jealousy and watch, that don't make sense. Togetherness is one, but wait for we success. So get up and go walk, I'll sit down for the top. I criticize the government just for mix up. But that on the pay, so we need for put stuff. Have for us for you all, no matter how you struggle the boat. This life without pain, not easy, not in the zone. Just forget to live in who myself can go so. We like to say I go, I never forget about this all.
Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, Insai we go. Sweet alone, what a beautiful love. We fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, Insai we go. Everybody me say well done. If we all this country so strong, everybody me say stand up. If you like salon, say yeah, 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 yeah. Then say
remember say, sweet alone how we own. Each and every one God take care of his own. So we all remember say, this country now we own. Each and every one for take care of alone.
I will exalt thee, realm of the free. Great is the love where I get for so long. I got to know we fall like unto the bone, cause if it well, Insai we go. Everybody me say well done. If we all this country so strong, everybody me say stand up. If you like salon, say yeah, 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 yeah. Then say
When I was a kid growing up in Sierra Leone, my neighbor had a small TV. The television was beaming these images about famine, war, about diseases.
There was a silent majority suffering.
I am fed up with that kind of news. We can use culture and art to change mind and hearts and inspire action. I was here as a student, and of course Charlie was my teacher. I've asked him to join me on the journey to create a major new play to offer hope to our people.
We want to uplift our nation, leave legacy for our children.
We are talking about national pride.
This is big, man. This has great magnitude.
Sometimes I feel afraid. I feel terrified when I think of the project.
Tito! What are they so?
We are nowhere near waiting one for day.
I want this. I want it. I want it.
I want this thing for succeed, Koji.
Blow, but you know,
oh man, just did lie, blame. These are the things that have wrecked this country.
I can call it my second to last project. We died at the last. Rest assured, my brother.
About this rage, tolerated this marriage, and this destroy the hopes and dreams of Kadiatu to live like it in Seattle. Instead, she's been used as a tool by an old school. Kadiatu is being used as a bait by her own mate. My friend has been emotionally tortured by this old culture. Old child marriage, it's on the rampage like disease, eating up the family. It's our duty to cage. Let diverge. Please be obliged. It is now we emerge from this ancient custom at large.
If not for this dreadful event, Kadiatu could have become president, but now she has been trapped in an old man's residence, like a mosquito in a tent. She is vulnerable, but with her age, she is still able to become that virtuous woman of substance, like Madam Patricia Kaba, Madam Dr. Kadisise, Madam Sianyama Koroma, Madam Dr. Sylvia O'Blyden, Madam Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Oh yes, without child marriage, our girl child can still turn into Madam Hillary Clinton, Madam Theresa May. Be it as it may, Madam Condoleezza Rice, let's not be hypnotized, but rather stay wise, for this can only be realized if education is being prioritized and child marriage is being criticized. So please, parents, do not relent, as it is apparent that a girl child can become great if only you patiently wait.
You don't be go. So see if you go allow me for take Mary to me for go keep me company. Adama is finally back from the village. She came back with a child.
My teacher made so find out you're not my brother. Stop coming to the school.
You could present the girl in the school and you come here and tell me she was a girlfriend, but you did not see the girl.
If she's not a witch, I wonder what she is.
According to the test results, your daughter is 6 months pregnant.
Where's the baby?
There's no baby. How can you be so heartless to yourself? Show the man who is responsible so that you can be free.
Who is her husband?
I'm not pregnant. Now tell her. Then tell me who I get there. I'm pregnant.
I'm an economist, and every day I fight to change the way our economy works. I've seen up close the power of Labour governments to change things and to do the impossible. When the global financial crisis hit in 2008, I was working in the strategy unit for Gordon Brown's Number 10. I saw that with focus and political will, our government could move mountains. And it was in those months that I first understood that the change my parents taught us was necessary might actually be possible. My parents came to London as refugees when I was 5 and became part of the Sierra Leonean community here. They made impossible sacrifices to give my brothers and I the best start they could. I've been lucky, but for so many of the kids I grew up with, good kids from good families who were as likely to go to university as prison, the system let them down. My parents made sure we knew that this system that holds people down is wrong, that it deprives our communities of hope and ambition, and that we had a duty to change it. But I also grew up seeing the value of solidarity. When things got tough, people in our community banded together and helped each other out. And that's why I'm Labour. Because we know that it's not okay for just a few to do all right. We have to help everyone rise. The NHS, the minimum wage, we have always been the party of big ideas to lift everyone up. And now we need to do it again. I've listened to people from across Camberwell and Peckham. They're worried about the cost of living, the lack of homes they can afford. They feel that our schools and hospitals are at breaking point. They want change. Harriet Harman blazed the trail for women. Standing on her shoulders, I want to be Camberwell and Peckham's next MP, so that I can bring big ideas to Labour to make this change a reality and move mountains for this community. I've spent the last 5 years leading a charity that develops ideas that could transform our country. Free childcare for all, a living income so everyone can live well, a Green New Deal. Ideas I will always fight for because I know who I am fighting for. I'm fighting for the kids that don't get a shot, for the parents who are making impossible sacrifices, for the people who are struggling to get by, the people who are Camberwell.
Hello, and welcome to Sarah J Media Live on YouTube and Facebook, and welcome to our Wednesday edition, How the Go Inside the Republic. Well, I want to say welcome to everybody, and I want to say sorry for the small glitch we'll get earlier on. And I feel say we get some small challenge online today. That make we come up very late, and I believe say we'll try to fix the problem as we go along. I want to say welcome to now. If you just joined me, welcome to Sarah J Media Live on YouTube and on Facebook. If you are a newcomer, don't forget for like the page and don't forget for subscribe to the YouTube page as well. As we try for bringing plenty programs in this particular season, we're in our election year. As we go through the election year, we've been promising we would try as much as possible for bringing for a show at least what's happen inside the Republic. Well, as you all know, a couple of days ago on Sunday, we farewell to one of our colleague, master of ceremony in the UK. We don't serve in various capacities within the community, either for wedding, birthdays, award shows, anniversaries, you name it, barbecue, host for so many activities and so many events within the UK and also now other parts of the world and in America. And it also continue for do that work that we don't do for the past couple of years until God take life. We do a Quranic reading from this Sunday when at the late Madani WC. Well, fortunately, we make sure say we get all we stuff them where we need for put together for make sure say we get them a good send off from London, as the body has been taken to Sierra Leone today, I guess, for the funeral that is going to be done on Friday. We all know Ramadan in a Muslim, but in this part of the world these days, you don't just get to do Muslim burial as soon as it happens. There are so many other challenges than we face with, and then challenges then they make able for perform the immediate Muslim burial as soon as possible, because in the UK and other parts of the world, you get for do post-mortem, you get for do something, you get for make sure say you know who that, or you find out about the thing we make the person pass away. So basically, it's not as easy as it used to be. We force them as somebody dies, so when a Muslim automatically they bury you either in the afternoon or the next day, sometimes in the UK. But that has been very challenging within the past couple of years at home and to be laid to rest in Sierra Leone. Most of the family members or friends, they're not also left for Freetown. Some they don't arrive yesterday, some they arrived today, and some get for go maybe tomorrow. We don't know, but the burying is going to happen on Friday. And if we're able to see we'll go give you on final send-off program up and running today. Also, we've been faced with so many challenges then within the past couple of hours and also within the past couple of weeks. But with try. We'll not say these are crucial times when people might not want us to be talking about things. People will not go happy for local to talk about things they won't know for say will affect Mama Salon, will affect the communities back in the diaspora, and also go affect the communities in Sierra Leone. But we're not the relent, because we believe say talking about these issues go help or calm down the tension that we certain individuals and not begin develop within the past couple of years in Sierra Leone. It will help for calm down people and we feel say they need to know about things that is happening in Sierra Leone. It will calm down a lot of nerves, because at the end of the day, when you don't know some of these things, you're always on the edge thinking what is going to happen. What if this happened? What if the atmosphere get for be like for this particular election? But we all hope and pray say it will be safe, sound, free, and credible. You what I'm saying? It will be safe, sound, free, and credible. That has been the most interesting questions that we citizens of Sierra Leone don't they ask within the past couple of months. Is this election going to be safe? Is it going to be a sound election? We not go cause no problem. Is it going to be free and fair? And also, is it going to be credible? Those are all the questions we've been asking. So for today's program, we don't do a specific topic where we can talk about. We now the 2023 election process review. The reason why we decide for bring the 2023 election process review that because we want to go to some of the stages of the election let people understand exactly why then they conduct this election this way. Let people understand exactly what are the implications, what are some of the contradictions, what are some of the things that we get for be challenging things then within this election. Because if we not follow through with the election process, people might be thinking this election is going to be constituency based. This is all the modalities behind the PR system, how it is being put, all the modalities behind the PR system, how it is being put together, how it operates and how it works. But before I go any further, they can introduce Mikoto, make himself say hello to viewers them, and let you tell you what's in your take on today's program. Koto, we don't get some few glitch where we go back and forth, but fortunately, we don't manage for pull and through, and we don't bring you come live as well in the studio. So say hello to viewers them and tell them what's in your take on today's topic of discussion.
Pambul, una good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night. You still not hearing me?
I think I'm in the hear you, but I think other people in the hear you. I'm not sure.
Well, Fambul, if you're not hearing me, let una say hi to me at the chat group, please. T-Boy now for monitor day. You hear me now? T-Boy, you hear me? Hello, T-Boy, can you hear me?
So Juma, still hear you. Let's see.
Juma, can you hear me?
And
I can hear you loud and clear, Mr. Palmer.
Yes, I think T-Boy's gone.
Yes, I can hear you now. Maybe sometime Adi.
Okay. All right, Fambule Munadu, una good afternoon, good morning.
Juma, I can't hear you. I can only hear you on Facebook. That's the problem.
Well, sorry, I don't know what you get for fix.
I can only hear you on Facebook, but I can't hear you in the studio. That's not the problem we don't face since this what. So basically, continue talking. I have to plug.
All right, so I go come back. Pambulem. Sorry for this.
You're fine. We can hear you. T-Boy not hear you.
So okay. All right. Well, Fambulem, thank you. T-Boy will sort himself out later, or Mr. Palmer will help him. But once more, on a good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night, depending on Usa you day and Usa on our I'm happy to be here again today, and apologies once more for the break in transmission and the technical glitches. And I just want to say, we are under the weather as well, but we try our level best, as T-Boy stated, for make sure we do to now. So every week, as promised, we discuss how they go inside the Republic, because we believe that this platform say true way out for talk, now they bring peace. And definitely want peace for Mama Salon. And the topic of discussion today, as T-Boy rightly states, now the 2023 election process review. We don't want to wait until election day or after election before we begin the review anything. So right now, they come tell Unadu, that's my opening. And I just want to encourage you now all, please do subscribe to the Facebook and YouTube, and also share with your wider network. Thank you. Over to you, T-Boy.
Well, thank you very much, Juma, for that short opening. I think my system is back up and running, but I will see exactly how long it's going to last for. So like Juma don't say, the purpose of this particular program today now for highlight some of the issues then and follow through the process of this election. This election, we all know, suppose for happen on the 24th of June. We yet to see any discrepancies of any cancellation or any postponement or anything. So basically, what do they say? Now, as far as we know, as far as we are concerned, as far as we've been told, as far as we don't monitor the system for the past couple of months, we call the announcement, say this election that happened June 24. So far, so good. It still remains for be June 24. Nothing has changed as of yet. Nothing is likely going to change. We're not 110% sure. We will look at what that happened from Sierra Leone, and we will follow the process very closely. But like I said earlier on, the election they come in one fold. People are still confused about whether we follow through with the PR system or whether we follow through with the constituency-based system we'll get. Unfortunately, the registration was done prior to the constituency system we don't get for the past, I would say 3 or 4 elections. So for now, things have changed to PR, but we don't have the possible measures in place for PR system or be the actual voting system we will follow through for this election. All what we don't do within the past couple of years was based on the constituency setup, wherein you get different constituencies, then with them you don't give by numbers. Because I remember 30, 40 years ago, we used to have constituency East 1, East 2, Central 1, Central 2, West 1, West 2, but that all has changed now to constituency numbers. Constituency 0, something, something. I don't even know how that operates in Sierra Leone anyway. I'm able to tell you exactly which constituency belonged to what, because I was not in Sierra Leone when they changed all them constituency processes then they to 0 and 0, 0 to the other one they we then get. So basically that has changed. So we have a system we been there before. They don't change that system there to constituency numbers then. And PR system, of course, was during the days of the war. So basically we not say the country not being safe, not so every region people then be able for reach, for register people and for vote. So political activities were not being participated in all parts of Sierra Leone. So that's why we have the PR system in place, meaning now full-blown representation of all various different political parties from different regions, then, because they're not be able to reach out to the entire country, because some area then be still be like a war-torn area where activities being very active and in place then they, so they'll not be able to reach out to the inside and then we could use the PR system. But the PR system is always the fact that you can use the PR system when the country is in a state and when you get constituencies, you get wards really represented by councillors, and then you get mayoral election we also get various different capacities. Then they serve as mayor for different townships. Then Kono, Kenema, Kailaung, Makeni, Bo, Freetown, of course, and then you get other areas. Then we also get mayorship. So if we don't decentralize in such a way that every constituency now not just gets member of parliament, but then get constituency ward members then, and inside them constituency ward members, then they get councillors, then where they serve within the wards. So basically, now a whole heap of decentralization of power, because they want for like people that really get involved in the process of governing. So they break it down from parliament level to local level to semi-local and local, because the semi-local now the one now we from the parliamentarian stuff we get councillors them. From the councillors and I come down to the ward them. With the ward and then deal with the day-to-day activities, pass them on to the councillor, and the councillor feed to the member of parliament. Then they can able to get proper developmental structures. Them do a census registration will not be meant for the purpose of election data collection. It was only meant for developmental purposes, meaning the census we then put together when the midterm census was responsible for looking at some of the population growth in Sierra Leone and see how they're able to improve services for those particular areas based on their population. Say, for example, if the population are okay, I'm not going to name the word them, but like we say, for example, the population contain Freetown municipality, we take them to the rural Freetown. The population of rural Freetown long grow from maybe 10,000 to 20,000, which means they may get 2 healthcare center, they may get maybe 2 markets, they may get 2 hospitals, they may get 2 XYZZZ. But for the fact say the population don't grow maybe twice, it means all those form of facilities should be increased for making able to match the population of that particular area. That was the purpose of the census, according to Census Sierra Leone. So then they collect this data and count people because they want to know exactly how much the population don't grow, so they'll be able to improve in the services of them particular area they are so. But it wasn't only meant for that purpose. immediately after the census done, we realize, say, the need for break the population to what? No, not what the need for break the population to the able for form constituencies according to the figure. Juma, help me out, because I kind of they get myself confused, but not really. I don't think I'm all the way down to the end now where census say, well, for the fact say, well, electoral commission say for the fact say the able forget certain amount of population within the census counting means then go for go into the PR system of elections because they're able for form wards or constituencies. Already they have existing constituencies. So it was a really the electoral commission come back and say, well, okay, then we'll borrow the data of last election.
2015.
And come into play. So why do the whole census in the first place where foresee that data they cannot be used? Well, I'm going to come to you and see how best you go for talk on this before going into the processes itself. Over to you, Juma.
Well, as you state rightly, we are equally confused, and also the ECsl then self-confused as well. So now confused.com, all man confused. Because, what I understand is then try for reinvent the wheel, we more or less don't create a whole lot of problem, T-Boy. And a lot of people foresee this problem coming, right? But what do you call them? ECsl, Electoral Commission Sierra Leone, they were adamant to make sure, say, they want for do, then start first with the midterm census. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
So then say them for do a midterm census because according to them, the data of 2015 census data not being clear. So there's lots of confusion according to census, okay? So then say for the benefit of elections, they will use those data or make sure, say, then see if they're able to do boundary delimitation and all of that. So, so the confusion there, we see the brouhaha about counting people, not counting people, somebody they send we text right now, we very critical when I try for answer to as we talk.
Okay.
Sorry.
I hope it gets for do with the program.
It gets for do with this and many other things, Yeah, so they are equally confused. So then end up them do the census by force, midterm census, even where parliament kick them out, even where the public cry out, even where the international community, we international partners, the funders, they win a World Bank, the NSSF advise against doing a midterm census, okay? But because of the population shift, remember the argument where they say, can a population pass 3 tons?
Yes.
So that means, say, then go do boundary delimitation, and then they will create more constituencies, because how do they create the constituencies are based on the population and all of those kind of things. And then go further for justify that, say it has happened before. Yes, it has happened before, but within the remit. Okay? Census now every 10 years. They not do special census for elections. But it seems as if waiting Statistics Sierra Leone do, then do midterm census for justify new constituencies. But all along, we all know, say, they want to go to the proportional system of which you call the elections process. So not to actually, because like you rightly stated, there are existing constituencies. We get 132 constituencies. All the other political parties, their internal elections, they will happen, then base them on the constituency system. That's what existed. So then from ward to constituencies to districts to region, and then you get national. So if you based your internal party elections on the existing constituencies, but now you force people then for what do you call it? PR system. Even the PR system, people kick against, and parliament, majority people say it is illegal to push it when you have existing constituency. But as always, this government waiting and don't show within the 5 years that they'll get their way at all costs. They don't care about what happens. It's their way or no way. You have to put up with it or you put up with it. So that has been their approach. So now that they lead with to which you did to cancel. Now we get district block system. People then don't go, they don't nominate. Now they don't left some people and they cry. Bokuma not happy. Some people been feel okay, PR system they in we favor. But now it's like a seeding system where you need to get 1, 2, 3, 4. So number one, now where you go vote. Now they under this new system, the PR system, you are not voting for the individual. You are voting for the political party symbol. So it no matter, Alexa then take push now and put behind there for go represent you. Now the push now for can represent you because now the party puts. So then give more powers to political parties than individuals. So now you not get possibly to go hold accountable for say there are things now you not me representative, you've been supposed to do this for me. Now the political party you get for goal because of them put.
Yeah, but
right?
so it's okay, wait, Juma. So
Yeah.
if the political party puts a representation, for example, you,
Yeah.
constituency 56,
Yeah.
does it mean you will
Not your
not
constituency 56, now the district. So you not get constituency again. So put
now the district now at district
Correct.
level.
Correct.
So
It's a district block system.
how much representation a district will
I
have?
think some na 4, some na 5. So now so then they put. So depending on how big the district be. So
Wow. So
yeah. So when they put the one in there,
will there be any shared representation? For example, APC gets some percentage of the vote and SMP gets some percentage of the vote. Are they going to share that seat between those two parties?
No. Now, who that get the highest votes, then they go to parliament for represent that district there. The
So
political
party
party
get the highest votes.
Correct.
Then we decide for either them put them first 4 people and wait them.
They don't put already. They don't seed them already. How they get
the way how they don't
right.
seed them, the first 4 or the first 5 or the first 3 then go.
Correct.
It depends on the amount of representation with that particular district they get.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So it looked like for say the representation of members of parliament will not be one that anybody can predict.
What do you mean?
As in, what is going to happen in the next parliament of Sierra Leone is going to be. We get the right to predict it will be more disastrous than this one.
Well, again, I know I'll run before Waka. I don't want to be a pessimist here. I don't want to be negative, but I just know say no more it confusing for we, and it will be more troubling when it come. When they go to parliament, how for deal with things, because before it was a clear cut. I am representing my constituency. I get one chair in a parliament at the Sidonde for represent the constituency. But now you don't know how the arrangements get for day. That's one. Secondly, you have to understand, say, with this government, it's been a pattern. When they come, what did we have before? We had the Speaker of Parliament, Deputy Speaker, then we get the opposition. The post we get the majority in the Parliament, now waiting. If you're now opposition, you're now the opposition leader, right?
Leader of the opposition, yes.
Now you're now the leader of the opposition. So if you get majority, now you still not the leader in a parliament. But what they did, because they find out, say, they did not have the majority, then change into waiting. Leader of government business and leader of the opposition. So all you had before was opposition leader. You don't have leader of the opposition and leader of government business. Now, majority leader of parliament and minority leader of parliament, now you been get. But they changed that. So you see them pattern. So we don't know what's going to happen if now this administration win again. Whose kind of arrangements then go make? They might draft something new. We don't know because they've been good at that. So
to me, I think I have the right to anticipate disaster in the next parliament, because this parliament, as organized we might think they are, constituency-based representation, is that much chaotic as it is, but we still feel to say it is on a structured platform. What is it going to be like now when we don't even know who are going to be these people representing these various political parties in those various different constituencies that we can identify? So it looked like, for say, is it going to be very much disastrous? Because I don't see anything we get for come out good on this.
Well, again, Fati just say, hopefully the next government will do the needful and give us back our democracy and freedom to choose our representative. So again, that will only happen if you get a different government. But if you get the same government, it's going to be business as usual and maybe worse than what we already have. Sadly.
Well, I think it's going to be worse than what we already have, because when I look at
that, are you saying that this government is going to win?
Well, I'm not saying so.
Right.
Definitely not, except otherwise. But if we look at the way how things they unfold, I think the people of Sierra Leone wanted a change, just like last election. So are they going to have the change they wanted this time around, like they did for 2018 election? It's going to be questionable until June 24th. But my confusion about the whole process now, why we do a registration for constituency-based ward and all the other chapters, then we necessarily need for be done in that particular format, and we do go into
a PR
system. Do we have the mechanism to run a PR system election in Sierra Leone? Our electoral commissioners train election officers for run the PR system. Have they gone through any process of the PR system of election? How are they going to be sure that these people are going to be capable enough to run with the PR system we don't ever don't participate in for the past 20 years?
Again, whether they're capable or sabi, that's a whole different ballgame, because Sierra Leone is on record to have had a PR system in 1996. But we all know
1996.
We all know the reason behind that, right? So because the country been there at war, will not be able to reach everybody and every corner. So there were no constituencies existing then. So you had the district block system because you can't have a vacuum. So they created the PR system. So then envisage say and put under the constitution, say, okay, if in the future something like this happen, for example, like we get COVID, right? They're not able to reach out and count and this and that, then they will result to PR system. But we didn't have any situation like that. Sierra Leone was not on lockdown or inaccessible, we make able to count everybody, and allow people then for continue on the existing constituencies. So they created their own. But the elections go hold. That's not the problem. Holding the election, conducting, because you get the Electoral Commission Act, when Adani then get for follow. What is in there, that is what they're supposed to follow in conducting elections. So that's their manual. So that is not the issue. Conducting the election is not the issue. You will conduct time, you will count and everything. But how the parliament go constitute and how the parliament go operate, that waiting go determine that now who that in a government. And the reason why I say that, it's not supposed to be difficult because you have a national constitution, the 1991 constitution. But because this government don't show, we say, they care less about the laws of Sierra Leone, they will, so nada deciding factor there. And the only people who will make that decision are the Sierra Leonean voters on June 24th. Now they will decide whose kind of government will you want. Remember the same way then they say, people get the leaders they deserve. So it's your time to decide what kind of leader you want and what kind of leader you deserve.
So now let's get into the process. How is the process going to start? So basically, I believe say you been take part from the PR system 1996, right?
Correct.
What was it like?
Again, for me, it was a good thing because that was my first elections where I participated and vote. Because before that, I was not at that age to vote in an elections, but I've been around election process, grew up close to the election commission. Usai nekri so right now I've been bodos all yanda. We then they use Mabu for votes. We don't follow campaign trails so they see people and they can't campaign to we. We don't see election days there where they vote with Mabul, where then they can't collect them, the high convoy, where they go. We don't really cry and say, then take me own box, then turn them inside that person your own, then don't hold people them for let them to step down for others. We've seen a whole lot. But 1996 was my first opportunity to cast my ballot in Sierra Leone in an election. And it was a PR system. At that time, I didn't care what kind of system we have. All we needed to do was, we were tired of a military government. We wanted a democratically elected government. So that was the focus. So that time was different. Now that day will be one. So we go vote, then count. I don't know that now be my representative in my area. With la member. I don't remember again actually. I don't know if it be MBCC or Bio Kubet. One of those, right? Because you begin MBCC, you sabi Sydney Bio Kubet, you been there.
Yeah, I know Sydney Bet, of course.
Yeah. So me na central man. So I don't know who that na be me representative.
I think it was Sydney Bet then, because I remember.
Right. So I didn't know where I fall, whether it was a Sydney Bet or Grant or Christy Green.
All those were members of parliament at some point.
Exactly.
Christy Green
Christy Green was before then, I think. Yeah. So let me.
They were all members of parliament at some point.
Right. So I don't know whether I've been bet or whoever was my representative, but it was confusing. But we didn't care. We wanted an elections. We had an elections. It was done. It wasn't peaceful at start. We don't know whether it was free and fair. I don't know about that because I was still young. But there was an election, we get a government, and that started Sierra Leone's democracy. We will say the new Sierra Leone after the war.
So what do you think, or what do you feel is going to be the purpose of this particular election, based on the fact that you don't highlight why we need the PR system back in the day? Or why do we need an election back in 1996? And why you feel to say we need an election this time around in this nature, we will all on CC is going to be a tense one politically?
Well, again, me could say this particular election, regardless of the system where we get, whether constituency based or district block system or the PR system based, it doesn't matter anymore. This term, people will have to vote for their future, then vote for waiting them things say matter to them. Now, this is not the time that we for vote on issue. You should not be voting for what would I say? Not to determine this way they vote because I like district block system or constituency-based system. It's past that. So we therefore make sure, say, we vote for issues that we matter to. What matters to you, T-Boy? Is it electricity? Is it good roads? Is it clean pipe-borne water? Is it what? You're not a businessman, na low taxation and low, what you call them, tariff na customs, na that matter to you, na transportation matter to you. What matters to you is what you have to vote for. That is what I will tell the people of Sierra Leone. When they say it's up to you, I will not say go vote for change. Now you know it matter for you. If you think, say, you're okay with what is happening now, then it's your choice to maintain the same guys there. But if you believe what is happening is affecting you, your family, your community, and you feel the pinch, then you have to vote for what matters to you. So now Dande me go answer you if you ask me waiting people for vote for them tell me also or waiting matter. The PR system, constituency based, we don't pass that bridge, that plane they don't left long term. They don't get away with that. Whether it's good for us or not, posterity will judge. 1. 2, like you stated, the anticipation of what parliament is going to look like after June 2024, that will will judge whether the PR system is good for us or not. I just want to go to what do you call him? Stephen, our popular person here. Welcome, Stephen. I appreciate you. Say, do you know that the PR system is the most popular form of democracy in the world today? It's practiced by several countries globally. That might be true, Stephen, and that's not a problem. We never said the PR system is bad. What we are saying is it was done illegally because we have existing constituencies. It does not mean if it's the best form of governance means, say, it's okay for Sierra Leone. 1. 2, it's not about changing the system of the election process. It's how you do it and the motive behind it. That is what people are questioning. So you might be correct, that's the best system. But Sierra Leone had a PR system, I make a mention, as T-Boy stated, in 1996. But we decided to change to constituency-based. Why? Because now that system did work for Sierra Leone. So if we want to go back to PR system, well and good, but let's do it legally and in a form where everybody feel part of. Don't not dismiss the majority just because you think it's good for the country. That's my point. That will be my answer or response to your question, Steven. Over to you, T-Boy.
Well, yeah, you might say that, but I would possibly like to know which countries then hold or they practice the PR system of government right now, or PR system of election, and how successful then they don't be. Because again, if we want to lead by example, we get for look at things then they don't do and how it works for them. So if Stephen can give you a few examples of the country and way it operates within the PR system of elections, then I think that would be nice for me to make some comparison how it works there and how will it work for Sierra Leone. But like you clearly say, the purpose of this particular election is based on do. Is it based on do and don'ts, or do's that are of benefit to Sierra Leoneans and the don'ts that are of benefit to Sierra Leoneans then? So we got to look at the track records of the scorecards of the various different ministries then we don't perform over the past couple of years in Sierra Leone under the SLPP Julius Maada Bio government. But anyway, let's come to the area of representation as ministers. How does that affect the PR system? Is it going to be the same kind of process of how the president they select UDA, a one for choose as in ministers and various different heads of parastatals and deputy ministers and so on and so forth? How does that affect the PR system of election within our community? Is it possible to say you only have to be a member of parliament before you can be qualified to become a minister, or it can be based on appointments, whether you're a member of parliament or not?
Well, as always, the president, according to the constitution, the existing constitution, now him get right for hire and fire, where he win an elections, the person with the majority will win, now in the forming government. So the president still stay now the position for appointed ministers them as he deem fit. He can appoint he can source members of in government from different areas, meaning it can take outsiders completely, when as Sierra Leoneans we qualify for South Sierra Leone. It can even take from parliament, right? Members of parliament, because we've seen with previous governments wherein they appoint members of parliament, but the moment they appoint you, what do you call it? You cease to become a member of parliament. Then the seat, what do you call it? Vacant for by-elections. However, for this PR system, there's not going to be any by-election. So that's the good thing.
Why?
Because remember, I tell you, say you get 1 and 2.
You get ranking.
The seedings is a ranking system, exactly.
Okay.
So the person where they first 9, they go. So if there's any issue happens, the number 2 person, they go up. If they appoint you, there's not going to be a PR, the number 2 go up. If you sick, according to the constitution, in a way where you're not able to function again, number 2, they go up. If not die, number 2, they go up. That's the kind of thing. So there's not going to be by-elections anymore.
I just laugh about this, but it's very serious. Now that we know the amount of vicious politicians they will get at salon, this is a call for disaster.
So are you saying that some man they go pray for them?
Well, I'm not saying. I'm just thinking. It might be a call for disaster. No, very serious note, because we don't see how people in the Fed themselves for positions in various different agencies in Sierra Leone, NGOs, government institutions, private entities, and so on and so forth. We don't see how people in the Fed for positions.
Right.
We don't see how people in the Fed for become the manager, general manager, director, all of directors. So we don't see the kind of malicious battle we don't happen over those couple of positions in Sierra Leone. And now that you know for sure, automatically, it is an automatic fit for, say, you it is second at the list of hierarchy. If anything happens to the person waiting at the top, on top of you, automatically you are an immediate replacement. Well, let's watch what is going to happen within the next 10 years, within the next 5 years in Sierra Leone politics and members of parliament and representation. Because also
people, don't give people ideas.
I am not. If you don't get the idea, and I'll get it now, put it at the back of your mind. Because if you feel upset, disappointed because you were meant to be the favorite, and then you were chosen to be the 3rd, 4th, or 5th, and you know for sure, say your chances of becoming a member of parliament is very slim within the next 5 years, then take action. No, I'm not saying go and kill, but
take action.
You have to do anything by any means necessary. If you think you party not do well for you, you party not favor you, you party favor this person way ahead of you, you can, if you say the person get money. Now for me, the person run dry of cash so that thing able for kick him out of parliament because he goes sick. Now they can begin to see the use of witch gun and tamaboro.
That is not a walk, boy. Because again, again we come back to the same thing. Say the party now then get say.
Yeah, but the party will not automatically shift you if you are not on the list.
Correct.
They automatically shift you? No, they won't.
No, they won't.
That list is stable. That list is not changed. As long as they don't put the list forward, that's it. It remains to be the list forever, isn't it?
For that particular term, not forever.
Well, for that particular term, until the 5 term, until the 5 years term done. Okay. So now, the process itself, what do you think, say, will benefit ECsl as the election body for run with this PR system will be now the first time they do them after 20 years?
Waiting them for do?
What thing you feel to say then go able for do? Because to be very honest, if you haven't been working in the system for 20 years, it takes you time for make you able to understand how this particular system go run. Because you say then gets election manual, but the election manual then gets the same manual you used for the past 20 years.
No, they updated it recently. So, but that's not again for me.
They update them for fit into the PR system, or they update them for what purpose?
Well, we don't know, but the timing, everything fall within the same time frame. So we don't know why the motive, but then we know say we have an updated Elections Act, right? But few things we want for say. again, the process may not concern about the system of, elections within the own district block, PR, constituency based. I don't care about that. Now the things them way for make elections happen. How you say if the election is going to be free, conducive, you add conducive, right? Fair and everything else.
Credible.
And safe and
Right,
credible.
credible.
Safe and credible, right? So you added all of those things which can mean the same thing, but it can be different as well. ECsl don't get them wrong from day one.
Yeah, then they won't know that.
So there's been a false start, and it looks like they are not ready, not willing, and not interested in making things better unless we get a free, fair, peaceful, and credible elections.
So how do they make things better, if I ask? Because you say they are not ready, willing, and possibly anticipating anything.
How you make it better?
How do they make
It's
things
by-
better?
You make it better by following the laws, the laid down laws. 1, 2, by being inclusive, because the Electoral Commission Act make provisions for a lot for consultation with the players. Okay? Everything they get for affect, they get for CC, like a referee, they want to see fair play. A ref, for example, where they play football match, not they just come and decide, say, they pick this team for goal na that side. Now for men na the up goal, you understand, for play from up, left to right. It a toss coin, right? It asks you whose part you choose. Me say, they toss the coin, it puts on the transparency, all man see. Then they decide. So ECsl, now then they provide oversight, now then they referee. Okay? So you have to be seen to be fair. Okay? So, but it doesn't seem like they're doing that right now in everything that they do. We don't see them times without number. On everything, the language they use, the way they talk to the incumbents, the way they talk to the political party, the way they make decisions, even with decisions then say you have to consult before you agree. They don't do that. They don't consult with the opposition.
So who is responsible to supervise ECsl? Because a body like that should have a body that is responsible to supervise the activities.
Well, if you get problem, if you don't feel aggrieved and waiting, if you say the process may go away, Supreme Court, because ECsl is supposed to be an independent body that goes strictly by the manual. They decide for put your own inside. But what we are seeing with ECsl, a lot of the things that they're doing, the people they're doing are commissioner, they're not seen to be independent. They're not seen to be impartial. It's like they've taken sides already. You understand? And then they create chaos. And the reason, maybe you go say, oh, now opposition party, now then they complain. But these ordinary Sierra Leoneans, let's take, for example, the registration process. All the things them, when me and you highlight Naya, say therefore go wrong, go anticipate as risk, as problems. They didn't care about it. They didn't listen to the cry of the people. They went ahead and did exactly that. And what you get, the thing that will be afraid not for happen, now exactly happen. That's done. You come to right now, one thing we suppose, according to law, that you for don't publish the what you call up the electoral registration. Everybody for don't know, almost people register now whose center, whose polling station. I don't know for say, yeah, now with 205, now we register now, so now 205 people get for votes. That has not happened. They're not therefore make them public according to law. They have not done that. Why? We don't know. ECsl refuse, then they not listen to the cry of the opposition party, even the international community, when then they fund them for that.
Okay,
Then
Rajima, Let us stop here. If ECsl don't breach all them kind of agreement they are, so we states now the manual say they should be in line with, why would it further on with the elections? Because basically
why who?
The elections is not.
Why would they further with the elections?
Why is ECsl or everybody in Sierra Leone are willing to participate in an election like this?
Listen, T-boy, that is exactly what they want.
So if they don't, if the people of Sierra Leone refuse to participate, what happens?
We get what we get right now. Nothing will change.
So are they going to run with the election and
yeah?
So that means the electoral commission ECsl is actually dictating the pace of the election as it stands.
Now they get mandate for conduct elections in the country. So
even though they need to go according to their own mandates.
Well, because it's deliberate. I tell you, say they don't care about what the law says. That is what I've been saying here. They don't care about that.
And nobody is responsible to hold them accountable.
The only person where you go cry to when at the court, the Supreme Court, for hold them accountable. You don't see how the Supreme Court, how the legal system they operate in Salon for the past 5 years specifically. We don't see how them pull 10 members of parliament from the opposition side, where what's supposed to happen, they're supposed to go for re-elections. But the courts not get mandate, they appoint who that for go serve in a parliament. So you don't say a lot of things are happening where it's concerning for the country. So if you ask me about opportunities, those are the opportunities we then get for make sure they then do the right thing, for get free, fair, and peaceful elections so that all man will go after a normal business. But for some good reason or for some odd reasons, they have a different plan, different motive, then they read a different manual, where then just want to create unnecessary chaos for the country, which is sad. It is really, really, really sad, because if we had suffered the war that we suffered, we don't reach at this point. Because today, outside of Sierra Leone is still a place that is risky to do business. Sierra Leone is a place that they tell you is not safe. That war mark still there, but we'll still get that now shoulder. When you go to Sierra Leone, and the first person they ask you, oh, is your country safe now? Even if they don't have to pronounce your country name. That's the first thing they ask you. I do Uber rides a lot. I take a lot of, because of I travel, I get for dinner Uber a lot. Most times when me Uber drive a car, where are you from? Because so we name them, come on. I tell them, I get for Sierra Leone. Oh, Blood Diamond. Oh, how is your country now? Is it safe? Even people from Somalia won't be if you say they war bad. And then they tell, oh, we saw the chopping hands and feet in your country. Is it better? So that is what is synonymous to Sierra Leone. War, barbarism, and all of that. Why? Because of the war. And waiting at the thing that will lead to the war. People are just focusing on the 11-year war and forgetting the recipe that led us to that war. And we see the same thing and even worse happening today, and people are proud of it. Before then, we not be know, right?
Yeah.
Even if they do their bad thing and they mask them. But now openly, ECsl, they proud, say, yes, now we do this. Law Suda go can't talk. Commissioner go can't talk, say, in cost the EU people. Can you bite the hand that feeds you?
Well, that's the arrogancy of the commissioner, because as far as I'm concerned, when you make a bold statement like that, you are not just insulting yourself as an individual, but you're insulting the nation to say we don't have value for the people who are helping and supporting us as a nation that needs that sort of help and support. I don't know whether they go born good picking on behalf of how then they look at we as a nation, but again,
they just tell us, they'll just look at us as a nation that is not serious. That's
well, a nation that is not serious, led by unserious people. That
is why it's not serious, because the people the way they lead.
Yeah, because I'm not going to say they will put the entire blame on the nation. They will put the entire blame on the leaders of the nation.
But when they say outside, they say Sierra Leone.
Oh yeah, of course, not Sierra Leone. But Sierra Leone, what?
Who knows? Who does be the commissioner for South in name? You sabi name?
No.
Succeed. So what did they go say? They say Sierra Leone, your electoral commission.
Again, yes. So basically, that's the differentiation. So now it's up to us now, Sierra Leoneans, to find out who is that person and hold them accountable if we have to. But you see some of them things they also would talk about. So I think it's very serious for me with the highlights, and because people don't see the other side of our representation. People then always say, oh, we are sovereign states, so nobody never can say we what we will do. But at the same time, these same sovereign states, they go out in the name of the sovereign states, they go seek help and support from other parts of the world because they need it. So I don't understand how you go big outside your own states and you feel proud of that, and at the same time, you know what for make outside where they feed you, talk to you about the way how they do things, you know what for answerable to them.
And T-Boy, we're talking about elections, but there are things that surround with some reality that we'll go for talk about, let people understand. These things that are happening are calculated, deliberate, it's been planned, not by accident. And I'll tell you this, most of the people that where they right now, where they make decisions, are beneficiaries of the war. They benefit a lot where we country they in chaos, where then they kill people, them, burn their host them, all of those things. They benefited from it. So because of that, they don't care if we go back to war. If we wanted to name names, we'll name names of people in this government that directly benefited them and their families benefited from the war. Some man gets scholarship for go study. Some man by default able to get job even if you're not being qualified for the job. Some man thief because he work for NGO or a particular Catholic group or this or that. All of those kind of things. Some be did a government where them people them be did it where them benefit from them. So they benefited from the war. But Cooper them. And then they say all, but Cooper them benefit. So they will not care whether Sierra Leone go down that route again. So now it make the only way where this go happen now if the people of Sierra Leone decide for vote within matter to them.
But Juma, looking at the whole process itself, even if the people of Sierra Leone decided to vote what matters with them, how can we rely on the result? Because we all don't see, say, this election, some people in they say it has been rigged 5 years ago, and even members of the SLPP are saying it proudly to say APC is going to lose this election because they are the main opposition. And then now you can see the reason why the First Lady was shouting, screaming, and dancing to say SLPP will go unopposed. If they had managed to squeeze all those political parties and make them
irrelevant
and disqualify them, because there is no other contender for presidential seats. No other political party is representing for presidential candidate. As far as I'm concerned, the only one that is possibly pending right now is PMDC. And even that, I don't know how.
Political party, what about APC?
Well, I mean, apart from APC, I mean, none other.
No, you get other one them all. We don't nominate.
As presidential candidates? Which one?
UDM.
UDM.
ADP. Kamariba and Party. Eh?
UDM, ADP.
UDM, ADP, NDA, they're all.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying there are 4 or 5 various different political parties that have presidential candidates for this election.
But whether they will back out tomorrow, we don't know. But at this moment, we do have them, yes. All right, somebody just tell me, say, Renip. I think even, how you call them? REFP. If I'm not mistaken, they have, what you call them? So, let me say this to you, okay? And I'll say it boldly here and challenge the First Lady in statements where he makes, say, President Dibio, they go unopposed. You can't go unopposed on a in a democratic election. That is not possible for us.
Juma,
Let me tell you,
the way the situation stands as of now.
Don't even listen to that.
Hold on. I am not listening to it. I am not saying that she is right or she is correct or anything you might want to say to back up your defense. All I'm saying is there is nothing that can be impossible the way Sierra Leone stands right now.
I agree with you.
The way Sierra Leone stands right now, you self don't highlight and say ECsl don't breach the rules of how the election should be run several times. ECsl, not to just say the non-beats gone, but they've got numerous amounts of false starts, but they still insist in going ahead with whatever they have planned. So I don't think I will be surprised if anything of that nature is on the table come next week, next month, or whatever the time might be, because it means we have a government that is incapable of dealing with the situations rather than just fixing it the way they think they want to and then they move on with it. So as far as I'm concerned, anything is possible.
Boy, I agree with you. Okay, but let me tell you this, and I'm saying it again. The word unopposed is out of the books. First, Leopoldade first, Dana 1. 2, and it can go back to the Gambia. Okay? The Gambia is a typical example. Jammeh was a ruler in Gambia for how many years? 20 odd years, right? From 1993 or 1994. I can't remember. Yeah? What happened? In your system, with everything what you do, what happened? He was kicked out because the people did not want him. And if you say no, they go, what happened? ECOWAS intervened, the international community intervened, and what happened? He relinquished power. So anybody, let no one not discourage. Let's make I say this. Now, for let people not discourage, all the people of Sierra Leone need to do is to go out and vote. When you vote, be rest assured that your vote will be secured. And you know when person they say rig elections, now if they beat you by 1% or 2%. But what I have seen so far with Sierra Leone, even then dummy polls the way to come out, you they see, right? If they tell you, say today, if there's an election today, who are you going to vote for? What they will tell you. 78% they say waiting. They're not a vote for President Bill. So if they beat you by 65, 70%, overwhelmingly, you're not able for rogue. Now you say they run and pack, you don't even wait for the count results, for them concept, or let you say you go hand over stuff. No. Now you they go. Now you say they decide to say me own good do. That's one example. 2, the late Solomon Berewa, may he so rest in peace. What did he say during the last 2007 election? He said even if now one person votes, now they be the next president, they win. Not to say they say.
He
was beating landslide, not to by half self. This time in government will be popular at that time, apart from the war and maybe some treasonable where they say they kill people and through treason and all of that. They were okay, right? Because around that time, they know they suffocate people and say no for sing, you're not afraid for talk na corner, you they oppose government, the government will get money. They not be said that they go make I call the rest farm tomorrow rice. So they actually get rest when they doing campaign, Solomon Bega and campaign, then they scatter rest so. Salongo Sweeto, Utete, with a vote Utete. What happened? When the people of Sierra Leone determined, it go. And they take you back to 1996. President Bill not be one for left power, and then he was the military junta leader. He not be one for left. It's our waiting a peace before elections. When the people were determined, we had an election. Then fire gun, then do all kinds of things. So all people need to do, no matter how they suppress una, no matter how they push and suffocate una, try, go collect your ID card and vote. That's what they're doing right now. Even for give people and the ID card them. As bad as the ID card looks, people and they go to line for collect the ID card and they know they give them in certain areas. So you see the problem where ECsl they create in the process, not all for the voting day or what you call up. So all this, if anything happen in a country, I always don't tell you the 6 or 7 people that were responsible. If Sierra Leone go into any chaos right now, and then 7 people or institutions that are responsible. And I'll go over and back if you want.
Please do.
All right. I don't tell you, say number 1, ECsl, PPRC, the electoral, what you call them, the judiciary, the vice president, the president, and the police and the military. So now then 7 then they now they're responsible. If any chaos happen as alone, any trouble happen as alone, they should be held responsible.
But do you think chaos is inevitable? Looking at the risk concerning the environment of the election process itself and how the election will be administered by ECsl and the people of Sierra Leone, do you think we are sitting on a time bomb that will explode at any given point in time? Do Sierra Leoneans really want to go through that sort of disastrous period going back in the late 80s to early 90s?
So if ECsl continue the way then they go with things, the risks are going to continue to high, and the recipe for chaos and problem is it's there, it's prominent. It hits you in your face. Not to like say that no. And T-boy, while we left this thing, they say as Sierra Leoneans. This not to all Sierra Leoneans. You have few people. Let we call them by their names. When you bulk people inside or salon people, then they get escape routes. Then they make people afraid. Hey, we know our war. Hey, we know our problem. Oh, this not to the people of Sierra Leone they fight for problem. They are not creating it. Now the institution they why don't say so. Then 7 then they. Now then they create the problem, and now then we for hold accountable. If they want for wait for let Sierra Leone go to that level, we will still go to war in 1991. I don't think that is what the general populace wants, but it looks like that's what the 7 people or institutions they were named so now that they want for Salon.
Okay, let's say now we don't know the process at which we get for run the election. What's in are the political parties then stands on running this election in terms of manifesto or what's in they're supposed to do? What is what? Do APC have to be convincing people of what they're going to do or what they intend to do? Or is SLPP going to tell people exactly what they have done over the past 5 years and how they're going to improve on it? What is the basis of their campaign? Because I still never understand, say, we still get 30-something days to election and we don't know what these two, well, we don't begin to use some of Samoa Kamara in your own kind of policies them of voting if we bring on the table for change the trajectory of Sierra Leone. But we don't know yet what are some of the issues that the SLPP government is going to put on the table to convince Sierra Leoneans that they're going to do. Because once we don't see the campaign on, another coalition, we are free to say we need to talk about at some point.
T-boy, this is simple. Me as a Sierra Leonean voter, I don't care about what your, how you call it in, manifesto say. I have a decision to make about what matters to me. And what do you have to judge right now is what is in front of your eyes, right?
Yeah.
And what they feel. Then the reason I make they say this, what did Sierra Leoneans vote for in 2018? Then say they vote for waiting? Change.
Vote for change. New direction change.
New direction, you voted for change because of what? The previous government was not giving you what you need and deserve, right?
Yeah.
So now ask yourself the question 5 years on, the change you voted for, how that don't impact your life? Is your life, you don't think so your life improved? Your status don't change for the better? Your aspirations, them, you're able to meet your aspirations. You they able for feed your family. La begin broken down now. You they able for feed yourself and your family because you been vote for change. You been, you picking able for go school. If your family member sick, you go hospital or you sick, you assured of, proper health care and attention. These are the questions you should ask yourself and see. Okay, you been vote for which you not been no so. Because why? You say, look, give other person chance because he has not been tried and tested. Although he say he's been tried, tested, and he get the answer to Salone problem. He's not new. That is what President Bio promised us. That he's been there before, he knows the problem, he has the solution, and he will fix things once he becomes president. 5 years later, I try, but I need another chance, so I go able to do the things that cannot be done. No, you promised us 5 years of change and a new direction. What we've seen, the wrong direction. The country don't go from bad to worse because it's there, not to me. We go by his, they say me benchmark for him, not to all the things they already talk. My benchmark was his presidential debate speech. But then they all are accountable for what he promised.
Comparison with the prices of rice, fuel, and the dollar and other commodities.
Exactly.
So the standard of living in Sierra Leone is as poor, and corruption and what? Leakages,
exactly.
Yeah, I remember that debate. So
that debate, he made all those promises until we say the people want change. Has he delivered that change?
And the only change that the people wanted was based on those issues that he highlighted.
Exactly. The dollar don't go up, petrol don't go up, rice don't go up, corruption, and they can block the leakages, all of that. They can give free and quality education, right? So now be the key thing them. So if you ask me whether I need somebody's manifesto, no, I don't need it. If I am to vote today, I'll vote for change.
And what change will you vote for if you?
I will vote for change because the dollar now, from where President Bill meets the dollar 700,000, now the dollar at 2,300, they go $2,400. If you not don't go $2,500, because for $2,500,000 for $100, because Salone are the only place where the exchange rates they go up every 2 hours. Every 2 hours within these 5 years. So I go vote because the dollar price don't go up from 700,000 to 2,500,000 to $100. And they vote for change because petrol don't go up from 6,500 to 21,000. And with the hope, say after election, then go push on to what 25,000 up to 30,000. I go vote for change because when President Bill take over, rest now be only 200,000 loans for bag, but now rest now 700,000 loans for bag. What else? T-boy.
Corruption.
Corruption? The answer is there.
You go vote for change because corruption back in the Anescoma government is what? 10 times? Because everything else has increased.
It's better than what we have right now, today. And even when you look at it right now, do you know that every Sierra Leonean owes $480?
Oh, who? Or owns?
Oh.
Other than who?
In debt right now. If there's just the debt where Salone get, we all for contribute $480 for able to pay Salone debt. So we are all in debt because of this government. Me and you, the debt where Salone get. Sabi like when you say you owe money, we go tell your family, say, well, Salah Muhammad, if anything happened to me, na me debt this way I get, where I need for pay, so. So Salone in debt combined. Salone, each Sierra Leonean get for contribute $480 for pay Mama Salone in debt.
So as we stand now, how concerned should we be as Sierra Leoneans, either in the diaspora or in Sierra Leone, we faith lies on the June 24th election? If he get for continue for the June 24th election, because there is a lot happening right now. Very few Sierra Leoneans have the confidence to say June 24 is going to be a defining moment in the history of Sierra Leone, and we yet don't know exactly which direction that particular election going to take. Even though they anticipate, and even though the people of Sierra Leone don't galvanize and say to themselves, we want change, the change we will get before is not the same change that we are seeing, and we want for possibly get a better change, and that better change they not see them in President Julius Madabio. So what are your anticipation to the people of Sierra Leone, the diaspora, and also in Sierra Leone? How worried will you be if you know somebody we get love, passion, and interest in possibly investing in Sierra Leone or thinking of planning, or you already have an investment in Sierra Leone? What will be your state of condition right now as you're sitting down looking at things unfolding in Freetown?
What is happening now is normal. Close to election.
How can that be normal?
I'm qualifying that. Please allow me. It's normal for let people be anxious. It's normal for let people be worried and concerned. It's normal for let people hyped up because now election term. Okay? So, because you said they reflect. See, boy, I don't know about that person. Me, Juma Ba. All the elections they were on votes per since 1996 to 2018. Okay? This is what happens when I go to the polls, when they actually don't give me sleep. I get butterflies, me belly they begin turn, and they begin shake, and they get panic. You understand why I say panic? Not a small panic, and they tell you so.
Why is that?
And they panic because I'm asking myself, within myself, am I voting for the right person here? And it's not a joke, I tell you so. It happened with me every election. The only thing, the last election, it's me could not be seeing better because I tried to control my nerves because there were cameras. They take pictures and what you call up. That was why. But me belly, it be they turn, they mix up. I don't know if everybody gets that feeling when they go to vote. They get reality check that moment. So, right now, for these elections, people are worried because we hear a lot of rumors here and there, and that is expected for let people get worried. So there's the 17th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Official election campaign starts when? May 23rd. And the official date that because campaign starts 1 month to election, then when they get a couple of days, break. When all my settle down and go back now in community, blah 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 blah. So the official campaign according to NEC and calendar. If campaign not starts between the 21st and the 23rd, then I have question mark. But if campaign starts, you're not going to cancel the election. There is no reason. Alexa, if you go make like coup, you can't tell people and say the past state of emergency, say they want for overthrow the government. Now, like it happen. We go to elections, it happen.
So the state of this election is determined within the next couple of days.
For me, my
Monday.
own analysis, yes. The next couple of days between now and the 23rd of May, now they determine for me if our elections is going to go on or not.
Why? Because
the moment you don't put people on gear for campaign, that means say now then they engage the people and they promise them. What other reasons are you going to bring to postpone the elections? Wait till you we don't see 4.5 years, 4 years, 9 months to elections because NEC starts preparing for elections from after the day where they don't swear in a president. They start planning for 5 years. Their plan is a 5-year plan. They don't have what you call them 1 year plan. No, they will make a short term, but their plan is 5 years to elections. Okay, so if you don't see and spot any problem, 4 years, 9 months, then whatever problem you get, we'll have to fix it during the next government.
So you're saying we have 5 more days,
yes,
to determine whether the 24th June election is going to stand or not. Because I understand the points we make very valid, But would that be the same mandate of ECsl? Take into consideration all the mishaps that don't happen within the past couple of years in their preparation.
So that's why I ask you, if you not notice them problem, then they 4 years, 9 months, or 4 years, 11 months, 4 years, 11 months, you don't notice them. Say you don't blow the whistle. You see they don't nominate and don't do everything, right? Everything. Then you give pay una go begin campaign. When that the law say 1 month to elections, 9 campaign open officially. And they talk about the thank you to we president go and tell you, or the visit where Dr. Samuel Kamara go and visit people. I'm talking about official campaign based on the official calendar. If you not notice the problem 4 years, 11 months, you cannot fix it within 1 month. And you cannot use that as a justification to postpone the elections. So anything where they do, you have to do it between now, before you start official campaign. Because once campaign don't start, there is nothing. Paso, natural disaster, we come up from God, we make the whole country, not even, I call it in. Do I be happen the last time? As alone. Landslide, that rain, even then if it happen, yeah, God forbid it happen, election goes on. Even if they begin stone side, now yeah, election still they gone. There, you know, they pass no law state of emergency. And they interview, they all say, yeah, we then be sent for cancel this election, this, that. There is not going to be no state of emergency. Election is going on. If campaign starts, that is what I would tell you. Trust me. And I'm not sure Sierra Leoneans would put up with any of them kind of crap then they. So again, coming back to my point, Electoral Commission Sierra Leone get an opportunity for left from continue for create the problems the way that they create and do within right that in paper, follow the process as it's supposed to be.
So, you know, they anticipate anything because I'm still thinking we have 5 day particular process they will make it start. And now that we know for say, we only have 3 working days, as in, well, today is out of it. We only have Thursday, tomorrow, and Friday. If nothing happens, that means we're going into the weekend, Monday
the 22nd, yeah.
And Thursday.
No, Wednesday the 23rd. Election.
So we have like 4 working days.
Mm-hmm. So
I am a bit skeptical with that because I'm not 110% sure. Say ECsl will sit back and don't do nothing about the concern being raised so far by APC and few more other observers towards the election, and don't do nothing about it and still give the go-ahead for make campaign start on the 23rd or 24th of, May. That is...
So that's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. If they waited that late, what would be the reason to justify postponing the elections? What will it be? Tell me.
Well, I don't know. So far, they are in the habit of coming up with excuses that we possibly might not know what they are. And also, we got to begin look at some of the challenges that we already they face, and we got to begin look at some of the questions being asked, and then we'll go for begin look at the response of the questions being asked. We'll go for begin look at some of the possibilities of the irregularities of the status of the ID card, registration forms, data collection, or whatever it might be, and also how the process they unfold hasn't been possibly explained in details for Sierra Leoneans then for know how the election process go on. So these are all major concerns that I have. Thinking loud, how would it be possible for make ECsl continue with all the impossible questions they also will not answer yet, and then call the shot for make election campaign starts?
So, T-Boy,
follow through the process of voting and don't put in place. Say yes, now they follow through.
Right now, if you find out, if you go to their website, they'll tell you that they've been going around educating people about the PR system and how to vote, right? Now, because of what? Because them believe, say, the elections, they go on. Even if you can't tell, we say the ballot paper, they not come. You go fend them. Because you get 4 years, 11 months for prepare for ballot paper. Even if you tell, we say the machine no make, even if I repair, you take, I call it a screwdriver, you lose the computer, them, you make all things. You been get 4 years, 11 months. So there is nothing you're going to tell us to say this is the reason why we are going to postpone the elections. Even the charcoal ID card they didn't give people. You waited all this time for print charcoal ID card for you not give yourself enough time for change them and give it proper one. Even at the time, because from the day you don't see the first sample, you don't hear people and don't they grumble and don't raise concerns. What you do, you they log all them concerns here so and look at them in a scale for say, this would it be in the interest of these elections? It will create more problems. So you weigh your pros and cons, then you decide to check how much did you spend for those materials? Did you spend 10 million? What is at stake? For me to spend another 10 million and correct this mistake, then are they in a lawsuit with the people that way down there for make sure say they protect, they provide them? Or for allow, let we use this card, we will create problem for we elections, we will cost we billions of dollars. You understand? Normal, sober person, we get the interest of the country at heart. These are the questions you ask yourself. You don't dismiss people for say, hey, una go vote. So now, whichever way people get for identify themselves, you have to create it. Then, of course, you know, una know how many people vote, we register for votes. Una no go ballot stuff, Insai, follow and raise the number and all that. Because we don't know for say, by history, okay?
Why did you take time for calling you?
And it take me time, let's allow people and listen. By history, we all know the percentage of people already. We know the voting pattern in Sierra Leone, and that is not going to change much. Even if it change, it's not going to change much. We know, say, you not get past 33% of the population at the Southeast. And for you to win an elections, you need what? 52%, right? Or 51%, whatever it is. That's what you need, or 55%. So you need that majority. The Southeast will not give the incumbents 33% votes. They will get void votes. They will get people that will know they vote for them, especially the one that they throw away acid right now na Pujol. Then say they part of that 33% they win, you understand? And then they know they vote. Remember that woman they beat Nakenema because he put poster and banner and all that thing and they then said they, you know the one that way someone been go born to maybe they dance behind somewhere camera. Then say they part of that 33%. You remember that councillor, the only councillor, APC councillor will win. Now the president in your hometown.
Tim.
Is it? Tim. Na Tim, yeah, na Bond, right? Councillor Avondo. It is part of that 33%. So you don't, this is for tell you say, not to everybody in the Southeast, they vote for the incumbents, that are one. Go back to the big one. We have all seen how unpopular these governments don't. So if this government...
Not to all man, they see that too.
Well, I talk about majority now.
Well, not because not to everybody they see the unpopularity of the government. So many people believe in the government in popularity.
And they use a benchmark for you.
Okay.
Where for me, that was the day I determined to say, I confirmed, say, yes, this government is unpopular.
Go ahead.
27 way pass.
That's not Independence Day.
Independence Day. Adebayo say with it. let nobody not come along, Macedonia else. Right? The whole country. This was not just Western area. The whole country, everybody, the streets dark and clear, all Mandina us. Even SLPP people been there at us. So that was a clear manifestation to me to say this government is unpopular. The reason they use that, I'll let people understand the context. In 1997, we had a military junta, AFRC. Majority of people decided to sit at home. So we get sit at home strike. Schools not they run, nothing not they function. All Monday night. Yeah. For 9 months, Sierra Leoneans endured that. When I say majority, I they talk about majority. You know what I mean? Say, gets here and there, but we talk about majority. So now I say April 27 for me was the benchmark for sure. Say this government is unpopular. People don't want them. They want them out. So can't tell me say you get 55%. Neck, you will have to explain.
So what if they have a change of heart overnight? Because what's in our bringing come? Wait, see me.
I bring Femi come inside. Femi need to talk about this change of heart.
No, because what I tell Lexi, come on. No.
Yes.
What's in our for bringing come before Femi come in? Now, we don't see the process of the election. We all don't see how things don't begin unfold. And we don't see the formation of grand coalition. And I'm looking at the process of the election and the formation of the
grand what?
Coalition.
Where?
You don't know the formation of the grand coalition of the
No, there's no grand coalition.
What is it called?
They say alliance.
Okay.
Alliance between KKY and SLPP. Not NGC and SLPP. It was an alliance between KKY and KKY and SLPP.
KKY is not KKY. Is it an alliance with Skande and SLPP or KKY or NGC?
On paper, it say NGC and SLPP. In reality, na Kande Yumkela na no more go the alliance.
Okay. Let's say the alliance of Kande or KKY or whichever you might call it.
Yeah.
You don't see the process of the election and the way how things don't become normal in the open. What's difference where you feel to say this alliance go make for change the process of the election where we already know say it's been leading towards one direction where now the unpopularity of the incumbent?
Right now, the only change of heart we go get na Sierra Leone?
No.
The only change of heart we get na Sierra Leone now the people have been vote for SLPP, then go die in minute, decide, say, you know what, we made the wrong choice. And I'm not saying this because I hate the SLPP, because we all know a lot of people who are regretting today that they voted for President Bio based on in performance these 5 years, not because they hate him, but he has not delivered for the people of Sierra Leone. His government has done nothing to improve the lives of Sierra Leoneans. Don't do nothing for improve the infrastructure of Sierra Leone. Do nothing for clean the country image, as he say. Do nothing for fight corruption. Do nothing for tap, public financial mismanagement. Nothing, absolutely. The bread and butter they promised, they haven't delivered. Nothing, absolutely, that they have delivered within these 5 years, where for make some people will vote for them. Glad he say yes, we are going to vote for President Bio again. That is the only change of heart that you're going to get. Remember, like I tell you, say me conscience, they flag me while they go for good. You know what? I may not like APC and Samora Kamara, but let me just vote for change and see what's going to happen if they're going to behave the same. Because you have to vote for somebody.
Well,
my good friend here, Stephen Nally, say 2 things. And I like Stephen's, and thank you all so much for the other contributors, but I like to, what do you call it?
Comment on Stephen in.
Yeah, Stephen, because it give you some contrary reviews there.
I will go back to YouTube and then make read out one or two statements as well. But go ahead with Stephen first.
But Stephen, when are you going to come to our platform? I would really like us to have a conversation like we're having now. I really like this kind of thing. It's healthy. So he said, Juma, if you think that this government is unpopular, let us wait for the election results. How much you want to bet? And that's what they ask me. I don't need to bet, Stephen. The writing is on the wall. You yourself when they talk, so right now when they type. You not believe what you type. You just sum up courage. I've been in your position before, in your shoes, wearing something, and they run the propaganda. We get for make believe. We do that sometimes, but this one, the writing is on the wall. Over to you, Tibor.
Well, I also want to read Peter a message and few more the messages that we don't come na the YouTube. And Peter asked the question, is this discussion about why Mother Bill will not win the election? And we also get another statement from Ode. The ECsl should be an independent body, but what we are saying is just a bunch of criminals surrounding the ECsl body. Ode made a couple of statements, and Peter has been going back and forth with the statements now the YouTube about the election process. Now the review and some of the issues that men concern with it to say the election process gets. Now we'll describe for highlights and see how we can able for make people understand what process is going to be used, whether or not the PR system, whether that's not the system will they go by, and what's in the advantage of the PR system, and how we next parliaments get for be like, whether that's something of a total chaos compared to what we already get in a structured parliament at some point. And then we'll look at some of the challenges that we ECsl don't face. We, to me, na Juma call misfire or false starts. So for the fact we don't get seeds and multiples of false starts by the ECsl, and they haven't been in the position to reverse any of those false starts and come and start again, it means they are creating chaos. And then they create chaos, we get for lead up to more chaos to Sierra Leone. And it holds 7 institutions accountable if anything go wrong in Sierra Leone after June 24. So that's not the purpose of the program for today. And also with for the statements, yes, of course, we all don't see the amount of activities where they happen at ECsl. I'm not going to say they are criminals, but they haven't been convicted yet for any criminal activity, but maybe for grab. So the basis of what we talk today right now we describe for review the election process alone and how challenging it get for be, because we only have 30-something more days to go and we're still not too sure whether the election they happen or whether it happen. But I'll bring Mr. Palmer in, like we even take on this particular discussion and possibly rub more span some of the things we don't talk about earlier on. Sometimes it can be rather unfortunate who the country in cousin and in big brother and uncle that they tell the drag yeah. But now by default, because you can watch and anticipate when it will come in. So over to you, Mr. Palmer. I know say you get a lot for comment on, especially don't begin look at the change of hearts. The people that will believe say go make a U-turn, and Juma don't tell you exactly say if at all there is going to be a U-turn, it will be like a regrettable U-turn. Why did we vote this way? So over to you.
They go make U-turn. And you want to vote for change in 2018. We don't regret now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
See the change. Yes.
So the one in our way will vote for the same change.
They will vote for change again. Yes.
Okay. So they will reverse their mind for change or change.
Yes.
Wow. So this now change inside change. Yes. So when you change inside change, now what's in the left? Now, or
change me, I change you.
Change me, I change you. All right. Over to you, Femi. Change me, but not change you.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And I hear you loud and clear?
Yes.
All right. That's good. T-Boy Juma, I'll get for repeating our question then. But Abuan, first of all, I tell family and thank you would join me because, I've been silent for the last few weeks We've been having some technical issues, so I've been working behind the scenes to keep the channel going and keep it active.
Now, Stephen, they sabotage you, so but they get out.
No worry.
Yeah.
They were Stephen Kana, so they do it and good and proper.
Yeah.
No. I heard waiting Juma say about April 27, and waiting T-Boy on they talk about Alliance and NGC and KKY. I actually think say the we been suppose we president or we administration make the wrong coalition, Juma. I think say really and truly the coalition where if I don't fit for make through thick and thin now the coalition with Adebayo. Adebayo put the country to ransom. Well, put the government to ransom by asking the civilians them for Sidona oaths on Independence Day, which hardly ever happens. From when this government come, they not celebrate independence at all. But on this one, they really, I think, say Adebayo give them a good taking off. Our president made him relevant, and unfortunately for him, it don't open the Pandora's box. And when you see that it open, you can't put Adebayo back in. For some strange reason, he has control of the people. The people of Sierra Leone listen to him. We watch, we listen, not to just the Western areas, not to just Freetown, but we see in other areas around the country, they all also obey or Adebayo in request for stay at home. So that's how powerful the man has become, more powerful than the government. So I think really and truly the KKY situation not really matter. It not really matter at all. If President be really one day in power, he choose the wrong collaboration. Over to you, Juma.
Right.
Ask me the question back, make a answer.
No, me go ask you again now. Let's go back to the topic, the 2023 election process.
Well, as you say, this year in particular, I mean, we see the registration cards, and it's sad to know that after we see Dandy, things were left to go on until now, and now then they can begin to see sometime we for cancel the election. I think it's too late, hugely wrong here. How can we correct it? I think it's too late in the day to make any corrections, but I agree with you, Juma, say there can't be any change of mind, or change of heart. I think that's what I'm saying. Any change of heart get for take place. I totally agree with you. It get for be for the one that we possibly been the thing say then go vote for the incumbents, then go switch them vote and vote for the opposition. Because at the moment, from wait to the see, wait to the hear, man they're not glad in at all. Man they're not glad at all. And I think on election day, then go make them voices them heard by the way then they cast them votes.
Right. Thank you. Over to you, T-Boy. There you for me.
Well, for me, man, they not glad na slogan we you don't say don't they that word the man they not glad you. Man they angry you. But we see the response of the president we that would become a normal slogan in Sierra Leone. Say man they angry you, man they not glad you. Juma, now it's not being response.
He said before then go, he say she me then I'm guarding right now. Before then go make the guard then sit down at on the Allah, then service man then sit down the Allah. Me angry you. One old president, me angry you. He bet the kokuma back there. Me angry you. And this, you see, these are the things where we can talk, where people know they understand. Not so opposition record that video where he feel comfortable with, right? And was what? Remember a picture with him and one lady where they sell banana?
I think so, but I remember too clearly.
So that was like a prominent picture at that time, 2012 election.
So are you saying there is no such pictures anymore of the president with any?
When are the last time? Who say you don't want to see President Bill? And then they say SLPP gathering. You don't want to see President Bill in the 5 years. We just come out and go stop by and wave to youth man them, or me and you, the common man, waiting at 3 channel where they go after our business. When are the last time you see that?
I don't remember none because I know this alone for the past 5 years, but I not seen none in pictures.
With previous presidents then, as much as they were uphill battles, then they get challenges. You always see them out here, and you must get where they capture them and say, hey, President Kabab in Kanaya, hey, President Momo in Kanaya, hey, Vice President Solomon Bera in Kanaya, hey, and it's Kumaron Boku Bokutem. When are the last time where you see President Bill? Since we become president, we all don't talk and say, SLPP party office, how many times they don't go there?
I think one time, if you can remember, the last time we come in at the time with them, we go do that love song for.
My love for you will never die.
Yes.
So from that day, they then tell us the day of the see go yonder again, that party office day. If you go there again.
Yeah, who is that talking?
I don't know. I just say no more than warn them strictly. Say if you go yonder again, the bed sheets that you get for book, then the book pass the one that you book right now. For did book bed sheets there. So we not see him. You understand? So he's not in touch with the people of Sierra Leone.
Okay. If he's not in touch with the people of Sierra Leone, how will you determine that he's been loved by many Sierra Leoneans? According to Stephen say you will be surprised or make you see the president's unpopularity after the election result. But how can you be popular if you are not mixing and matching with the people of Sierra Leone in various different...
So if President Bill been popular, Femi don't make it easy. April 27, where are they by been select people and not come out? People don't come out and tell people, so now come out to get party na cutting tree.
But
not so
party cutting tree.
Whose part?
They may get you back party na cutting. You know go.
50th independence. Were you not in Sierra Leone?
50th, yes, I was in Sierra Leone.
Namide Salon. How many other independence there where we don't celebrate na Salon?
Boku before 50th.
Thank you.
I think I do 51 and 52.
Thank you. All right, let me tell you. 50th independence. You know how I spend now? Not in Freetown. Could I want to blackout? So they work.
It's actually a one blackout.
Love like Stephen. This is they work, Stephen. This is they work. I'm just joking, Stephen. 50.
No, I only people understand is Stephen not so party operative. He's just an average man. They support Pauper. Not to SLPP, they support Pauper. But go ahead, Juma. Go ahead.
50th independence. I did not even celebrate it in Freetown, but I felt the vibe. You know, so I spent now one village na Muyamba, Kenema, and Bo.
50th, you be there Freetown, Juma?
I was. T-boy. Sky question he asked.
I ask you because I think so. I've been there in the province where women is Freetown.
Yeah,
I wonder.
That's it. Maybe then I move. I mean, then na what you call it.
I wonder.
Business. You know what I'm saying?
I go there offline media inside Freetown to celebrate 50th.
I was working. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
Telling you they fact finding all of those things. Now Moyamba Spenam, Bo and Kenema. Then pull Debul na Kenema. You understand me? Moyamba, we get
not call the devil in when pull na Kenema because you know dancer.
But I was there. I see that team up now in cross office.
Not call the devil.
I have pictures too, I will send you pictures so you see.
I say you know dance Sam. I'm not saying
they dance devil. Yeah, we didn't dance devil, but I watch the devil with them pull.
We don't dance devil together. Actually, talk to you dance devil.
No, we cover.
Devil don't dance. So don't dance, but who devil will come on? You make like one say you don't dance devil. You cover devil. You dance devil.
I cover the picture.
When you go cover election, not so campaign. You don't go dance, but you don't dance bubu na. You don't dance bubu na kabala. Same as you dance bubu na kabala.
Of course now.
Oh, so you know dance devil na.
You know, he's not dance devil at Kenema.
No, you are the talk teacher.
I watched it. I was at the Red Cross building at Mapuacham. Then apart from that,
what you're saying is very serious.
Bo T-boy, just quickly, Bo, there was lantern common.
Okay.
Okay. Then even the village where I go now, I keep forgetting this place, but I'll remember. 16 miles off Bo. Now they are spending the day with people them. You know them picking them. They all come out and make
Sabi that village there. Is it? I remember the village. I remember me say you been go there. That picking go sick at the hospital.
Exactly. So now they Emakoa constituency. You know, constituency 78 at the time, but they don't change it now. So even at that small village, you understand, they don't know what's they happen at Freetown. Then picking and dress them devil, then get them tamati scope then and they beat and all. They even scare me around because nobody see them coming. You understand what I mean? So that's what I was telling you about independence. But President Bio is so unpopular that he not get control. For even tell people for come out now, than one. But remember, say before this, it had happened before. Remember, who's independence and they will get where they call them foreign people and for camp.
Now the 54th.
No.
Yeah.
54th or 60th?
No. Is it 60th? No, it's not 60th.
Yeah, 60th. Yeah. So 60th.
So they call them foreign delegate for Kawhi and call them the one city.
Exactly. So you see, at that time, what did they do?
Okay.
Because they don't let people come out for demonstrate, then tell people they let them not come out. So that just don't show in we say this man not popular. He's not.
My bone of contention with the popularity is high, yeah. But why would they go into an election and we know clearly sure say the incumbent, forget the president, but the incumbent is not popular in terms of the dispensation of voting and undo as government officials or government ministries in all the various different capacities them of the ministry organ alone. How on earth do you expect to win an election on those bases?
Well, when things say magic go happen. Now that then think. When I make a come back to you and tell you, see, everything then are ECsl their hand. And we all know, say, the country in history and voting pattern, you not get past 33% of the country population at the Southeast. Even when they don't add the number, you still not get past 33%. And you know they get 33% of the people in the Southeast for vote for you. You must lose at least 10% of the votes. So you need the other partner of the country for let you forget you 55%. And the way the government unpopular so, the way they're unpopular, very difficult for let them come and announce it and they win. Even during, what do you call the thing? If they even if they push them, say then they go to run up, we not get for happen.
So if you take into consideration the popularity of KKY, the popularity of the popularity of Victor Fo, the popularity of Alpha Khan, and the popularity of few more other Moijoy Kai Kai, we Bralo. So when you take all those into consideration, are you still saying the government is not popular?
Boy, let we go back. Victor Fo in constituency.
Nah, Bo,
small Bo, right? Or whatever they call the place.
Mm-hmm.
Alpha Khan, Usaina in stronghold.
It's local.
Okay. KKY, Usaina in stronghold. Cambia. All right. So let we go and watch things. Now, let's start with.
You're not done it, so you're not called the only.
That Moja Kai Kai.
Yeah, Pujong.
Okay. So let's begin with Moja Kai Kai.
Why Moja Kai Kai last week? You say you get problem.
No, they start with I know why.
Okay.
I want to ask questions. I just need a nod if it happened or not, then we will continue.
Okay.
For one person, I don't need for let's say voice, but let's just nod to me. I dey watch the person at the what you call chats right now. Moja Kai Kai been go for the chief, right?
Yes.
And that make he resign from APC, say one go contest for chieftaincy.
No, before he resigned, not before he resigned too.
No, now that time he resigned from APC.
He not resigned it.
He had resigned, T-boy. He resigned and he
resigned as APC before he go contest for be member, for be chief.
Correct, yes. His reason, wait, I tell you, the reason why I tell you this, his resignation letter was clear. Say, in the resign because he want to be chief. He go contest for chieftaincy. My question is, did he win?
No.
Okay. So, if he was that popular, na Pujeo, na area we call home, now you chief go, then you're not even able to become chief. You're not even popular within your household, your family member there, because it's a household business. Your family, they not believe for vote for you for let you be chief, for let you be then chief. How you go popular for bring Cam landslide vote for President Bill? No think.
Okay. More is one, but more joy gets.
No, why do you argue that first? Tell me.
They argue so now.
Yeah.
More joy now one, but more joy now chieftaincy he be go contest for. Within the chieftaincy clan of the Pujan district, the Kaikais are one of the most popular. But Moijoy might not be the most popular amongst the Kaikai for win a chieftaincy election. But Pujeon is also known to be a stronghold for SLBP at some point he can swave.
We talk about influence. You said with the popularity of.
Well, Moijoy in popularity, I just they ask the question, say, if they're not so popular people enough for win the election. And you say now,
if Moijoy is that popular, but he cannot win the chieftaincy elections, him not able for convincing household, how he go popular enough for swing the votes for President's Bill? What added value? If you
minus Moja Kaka, move on. Let's go to the next. So Moja is 0. Let's go to the next. Who is next?
Femi, you want come in?
Femi no one coming. No, Femi will come in on other name, not to
Okay.
Well,
All right.
What's the problem? So
yes, go ahead.
So Juma na be amboging my boy in the go school. Really and solely. Tiwa, Juma take you, Yonkin flag you.
Can you imagine?
Juma take Yonkin flag you. Anyway, no, I enjoyed that, Juma. You amboging bad.
Thank you.
I wanted to see.
That's all you need to say.
I can't say Yonkin beats her back. Like you go to more small.
Let's go to Uda next.
No, you call next now.
Victor Four.
Why you want to call Victor Four now? Please.
I'm your uncle. Your uncle is my uncle.
Oh, your uncle is to Fula.
Eh? Hey, but your uncle is my uncle.
No. My uncle is not your uncle.
Your uncle is my uncle.
My uncle is not your uncle. My uncle is my uncle. Your uncle is your uncle.
Okay.
Please.
All right. On a family, on a city, but don't deny me, uncle. All right.
No, you know me, brother, but me uncle, not to you, uncle.
Okay. So Victor Four.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Say he's popular. He's this. He's that. Well and good. And if you don't say waiting,
what is it popular for?
No, now you say popular. You say
no. I don't say popular. I asked a question. Juma.
So based on your question.
No, Femi. I want to come in because the question I asked Juma.
Okay, ask a question.
I say, how you go say the president's not popular? Where he gets people like Victor Four?
We're popular.
I don't say so. I don't say that.
You are popular there.
I say, how you go say the president's not popular for win election? Where he gets people that like Victor Four, Alpha Khan, KKY, and Moijoy Kaikai. So now you the debunk now. What to make the president not popular for win election with all those 4 names?
Right.
So now to me, Uncle Victor Four.
Okay, your uncle, Victor Fo.
Hold on, Juma.
Anyone can.
Hold on, Juma. But T-boy, you might not say so, but you imply.
That's what you imply.
Imply you are assuming about what I think. No, you don't make my words. I can make them myself. No put on me much.
If not popular, how comes you not go popular? We get them people so implying.
That's the question. It's a question I ask.
Yes, but that means say them people so with their own popularity, they go add to the pioneer popularity.
I'm not saying them popular, but with their own popularity added. I'm not saying them popular, with their own popularity added. If you want to assume for me, maybe I will accept that. But I'm not saying them popular.
All right. Okay, let's go by you redefinition or
redefinition on the
rephrasing of your question.
I know that you phrase the question, the same question I asked.
No, before you rephrase them, all right.
Yeah. Before I redirect, no, not redirect, not even rephrase. No.
Okay, the way you ask your question, you'll go by that. All right, I'll give you that. So don't you agree with Moija Kaikai?
Okay, zero, yes, no popularity contest.
So Uncle Victor for Tibo and Uncle Victor for because I don't claim him. I feel hurt by that because you deny me.
You comrade, so now you blood comrade. So
yeah, he was my comrade, until he decided otherwise. So Victor Fo.
I go on for ask you later on what he popular for.
Okay. Victor Fo left waiting. He did for how many years? For the best part of his life? 40 years of his life with the APC, right?
Dedicated, not just with the APC, dedicated 40
years.
Dedicated
and up to Secretary General. You know, ever believe or serve SLPP. So you know, get relationship, political relationship with SLPP now in area where it come out.
In life, not just in area.
No, well, that's one. Two, Victor Fo, if popular enough, popular enough for let APC believe in them, for let them make a flag bearer in 2018. He said they want to kill him. That's one. Two, recently, as recent as 2 or 3 weeks ago now, at Tuga Stadium, what did Victor Fo go tell people there?
He said no more SLPP.
He said no more green. He said no more green. He campaigned against President Bill publicly. He campaigned against it. This not to be the one that we don't talk now. You don't go campaign against the man in front of your own face. Then you have to apologize to him and wave back after you don't campaign against him. So what message is he going to take to his people on behalf of President Bill?
Did you ask me a question?
I ask you.
You asked me a question. You said.
Who am I ask you? So he has no legs to stand on to campaign and bring people over. He will not.
And I watched one of his campaign.
Against President Bill, no more green.
No.
Okay.
He campaigned against Insai. On behalf of the party where it is supports right now.
Say waiting.
If it is for campaign against APC, he said him, Victor Fo, it must have been nothing. And all the 40 years we don't serve na APC. Now for thief no more.
And for thief and eat money no more na been before.
So he said then they look in Victor Fo, we not have been nothing. Then turn and
just eat money.
No, then turn and Secretary General. And not have been nothing. Then turn me to ambassador to China. And not have been nothing. Then they turn me to vice president. I still not have been nothing. So then people are so they make me full Victor Fo. For thief no more. That's me.
Yeah.
Hey, can you imagine? This is not the possible way they can lead mother being government for campaign. When a thief no money ain't not land for the past 40 years.
Yeah.
You want to tell me say not popular?
Well, you have to tell me back. So
follow what? Follow the leader.
But he's not a leader.
Hey, leader. Follow. Let's start with what mean now.
Yeah.
All right, cut. Next one.
So next one is yes, Femi.
Why you call Femi?
I see, you know, we forget your feedback on this as well.
Or you want to get feedback on Victor Fo? So Victor Fo, we assume say that's 0, no popularity as well. You not get for win.
Now you ask, so now you for a grade now whether
no 0.
So, Joe Matty boy.
Yeah.
Victor Fo a lucky man. Una not underestimate that guy. President Stevens be non talk. What we talk about Victor Fo?
He said no public office until they die.
But guess what? As himself say, they don't get all kinds of metamu. And avoid you popular man, don't forget to even get one video in the trend.
You see now for bringing kind disrespect to me.
You say the man in popularity.
I'm bringing kind disrespect to me now.
The man be get you know if you put money on that video, seriously for make some serious money. If you put attention on that video, if you make some serious money, and then you not be voting for the thief again.
Exactly. So that's Victor Fo. Then let's go to our uncle, my former comrade, Alpha Khan. My former comrade, Alpha Khan.
So you basically have 3 comrades in this party of what? 3? Wow.
Yeah. So Alpha Khan, let me start. Since he lost, first he did put local. You know, get enough people there for support and for even convince APC for make a flag there, even when I be the apprentice, self-acclaimed apprentice.
Juma, you know good you.
Self-acclaimed. Not to me say nine say na apprentice. Self-acclaimed.
You don't think I say no good. You first punchline of your assessment, now you make you no good.
Why?
You know to one better boy.
Why? What did I do?
Go ahead.
Okay, so self-acclaimed apprentice, you know, popular enough for let the people of Port Local support her for that is a force. Then you say now you don't go. Okay, that's fine. It's your choice. I don't have anything against you. People move if they want. I can move as well. I have moved, you know, a reason for me. How many by-elections within the old Port Local?
About 3 so far.
Okay. All of those 3, who that lead the campaign for them by-elections?
Alpha Khan lead all the campaign for.
What were the results for those?
Beating flat.
They lost all.
Yeah, beating flat. They lost all. The last one we were for getting tough time and beat them twice because they come back again.
Even when they promise people, they say they go give them microcredit.
Yeah.
They still lost, win. Then finally, then go na Lungi, which is he saying they can bring 250 million people in for support president. But who say they go pull them people in?
From Kamalu.
Somewhere in village now each what? Then get 10,000 people in the way they go bring 250.
So we go taking somewhere in village. Who that go vote for somewhere now? So now Kamalu they go pull them.
Yes. So if you say they go bring 250, then I for tell the president say, this na impossible task now they give me so now. So this is impossible. So if you are win now, so now 250 million people again for go bring because all the one they waiting now so right now they get for vote for APC. So we not get for let you win now bring 250 million people out of that you get some percentage we will vote for you. But then
he's making a huge strides in Port Local district. How true is that?
I don't say he said and get by-elections. He lost all the by-elections. So whose huge strides will they make?
No, well, right now they say the president. You forget to the president come out now the Port Local activities for the past couple of weeks and some of the inroads that we don't make.
Yeah, the president has gone to other places. He go State House every day. They drive through the streets of Freetown. Now, Abacha Street, the president passed for go at Tuga Stadium in nomination day. This now after April 27, people go about their normal business. This is not the first time it happened. T-boy, may you know, Salon people, whether you win one, the president they pass. How many hours people let him up for watch just for see the pa, you see an way fine, looking cut neck, Sheki, but Sheki where they pass. the people and they wait hours. Pakaba, people and they wait hours just for see anomaly wave, say I wave to Pakaba. Hey, Pakaba wave to me. Hey, well, yeah. This is the president bill they pass convoy. Kuda they go, kuda they go to the to that they are diamonds, they peppermints, they all man after the normal business. They not get in time. So in the past day, so now put lock away it go. What difference would that make?
But local gets Alpha Khan next to and winner in mouthpiece. So basically, you're able to create a lot of difference in that area.
Yeah, but then if you're not able to win by elections, then you're not popular enough to make a difference for President Bio in Port Local.
Okay, so are you saying these guys are just hanging around President Bio for no good reason? Then you're the fool and almost say we can make a difference in your...
It's a political stunt where President Bio try for use at an advantage, but work against him because of the caliber of people that he choose. So what he did is a strategy to show that I'm inclusive, you understand? And they draw from all other parties can be part of my government. But because of his insincerity or the ulterior motive behind doing it, he chose the wrong people. And he did not need to do that to be seen to be, inclusive. All you needed to do was to stop harassing Sierra Leoneans, was to stop killing people, arresting people indiscriminately. You don't need 4 politicians to show that you are inclusive. No. So it was a wrong move. And more so, the one that we go choose, now the one that way the party where them come and not believe in them first to start with. Yes, Femi.
Okay, Juma. Juma, who's team been a supporting a salon? Who's football team?
Mighty Black. Mighty Black, the best team na the salon.
Okay, Tibo, who's team been a support?
Eastern Lions.
Okay.
The Killers.
So, Juma, if you're gonna cup final, you go take Lions and keeper, go put on a Blackpool goal.
Or never ever. and Lola qualify if we play inside salon, right?
Yes, they play inside salon. You go
because they lack.
Thank you.
They make say last minute when the ball come, make like the ball pass under and football it on a ball.
Tibo, you go take Blackpool goalkeeper for go men for Eastern Lions Cup final.
No, I got no agree.
I rest my case. This election get for sweet.
So, okay. Last on the list. So Alpha Kana na 0. So now Femi now own goal you don't predict so. Now own goal now Femi don't predict so. So then are 3 own goal, meaning 4. So basically you come and score 4 more goals. So now 8 goals you get for score for win the race. All right, so go ahead, Juma. Last one.
So let's go to our brother, Dr. Kande Yunkela, the orator. Mr. Third Force, progressive, and all of that. But before he became NGC, he failed at the SLPP.
He failed NGC or he failed na the SLPP?
SLPP force.
Okay.
He go join SLPP. They don't even get a membership card force. That's how they did not believe in him. They get for forcing himself for go make 5 different membership cards then for himself just for justify say I'm part of SLPP. Then we see him, right? Where he go to the party office, where team up like jail board, then team up they lock the mouth pan them, say the passing the meeting don't cancel. When I go, I'll be called about not calling again. But again, it can when Femi talk about you need to go take Lions keeper camp, put up and cup final for play Blackpool Lions, right? Do that. So it's in click na me my way Femi talk that. Is this a situation wherein KKY they say I'm gonna pay you back with your own coin?
I don't think so.
Now they come. I just asked the question for let me think outside the box a little bit. That's one. Two, T-boy. Me and you go na Cambia. We go particularly na Samu, Dane or Kichom, right?
We go Kichom. Then we go na Imamai village.
No, the Imamai village are different. Let's talk about Fintonia.
Fintonia.
Yes, that's near Kamalu Sayan and Kamakwe district.
Yeah.
Right. They will go na in village na Cambia. So he won there as a member of parliament because of what?
Because he was the son of the soil.
Son of the soil, and then see that a new man, Blawid and Nunu.
Yeah.
Has he delivered for the people of Kichom?
Yes.
What?
Renewable energy.
But we all know when we go there first. If you know, again, that's what from when Dr. Kane Mkela be member of parliament. Una ever hear about anything he talk about the I call it in energy way can go na Kichom? Because there was nothing to talk about. It was just all smoke screen. Because me and T-Boy we go watch Femi, that thing was not operational. It wasn't working. Now they abandoned a deserted project. So the thing
that death trap, not abandoned in deserted project. It was
grass did not go inside the machine, the grass. And when I say grass, not to half grass. So it's a very elephant grass and the high one there. Now bush. And I'm not making this up. Me and T-Boy, we went there. We spoke to a 14-year-old and another person. We asked, can I go show we the area? They said, now this night, Dr. Kane Mkela been bring for we, but you know they work again. They don't left farm, they don't abandon them. That was before he became member of parliament. Since he became member of parliament, you never reference that again? Never, because there was nothing. We went to Fintonia in Mamain village. We spoke to people there. This is what they told us. They say, where KKY go there for go campaign. You know the tradition, right, Femi? When you go for go campaign, what do? Where you go meet the elders then?
Get to know Siri at apple.com.
See, apple.com say, you know, be even serious. You know, Siri not good at all. Siri is very bad. So, where you go, you know, so they can go with envelope where they say this is the bora for the chief them, for the this, for the that. Do you know what the disappointment they got? They say KKY tell them, say, he forgets the envelope then a tongue. He forgets the envelope then a tongue. This is not something we're making up. I have no way of knowing where Fintonia is. Now then tell we say, I don't say na KKY Mama in village this. He forgot, according to them, say he forgets the bora for the chief them, the elders them. He not care and go. He say he forget. But even if you forget, we all don't go na married, we sometimes the envelope they not do. What happens? We they go na corner, right? We go
yes.
put
together.
Put we give. Because I just is symbolism. So in 1 cent, they're not
going to
huh?
I say an chief picking back.
And a chief picking we're supposed to understand the importance of those things. And then tell we say, you don't walk outside yonder. You don't ever come with school now, even learning materials for the school picking them. I don't have no way of knowing this. That was news to us.
And one pan the youth leader then confirmed say he might think he's the most learned Sierra Leonean, but nobody not get monopoly over education.
Exactly. That's what they told us. Say if he thinks he was, you understand, but nobody not get monopoly over no education. Thank you for for remember that, T-boy. So tell me how KKY go able to bring votes for SLPP at that area there.
Okay. 0.
Okay. Over to Una.
Well, the reason make I ask the question, how popular are all those people for make the president?
No, they say alliance, but
alliance. They don't form an alliance, a political alliance. Well, the alliance now is between 3 people. So I will not be surprised if we have the president, the first vice president, and a second vice president. That is how they're running the campaign now, because that is the poster publicly being published out there, as in the president, we know say Jules Jalo is the vice president, right? And then why is Kande on the other side supposed to be?
Kande become the second vice president.
They put the second vice president.
Why they put Dr. Fatima Bio?
Well, Dr. Fatima Bio, Naina the chief minister, so not a problem. We will deal with that another time. But what's it make they bring on this kind question? Why they ask you, so Juma?
Why not me they ask question?
Actually analyze the importance of them people there, so in this alliance with the non-form. Because to me, you can form an alliance, yes, but if the impact of the alliance is going to be at your disadvantage, why would you want to form the alliance anyway? I think if the president would have gone alone, would have been better for him right now. Because Kande, for example, has his own agenda. And at the moment, he's speaking about developing civilian as the agenda. And what in me they become so amazed about, now the fact say, what came upon you to be so energetic this time around or push the agenda for civilian? Where you not don't do whilst you were in parliament for your constituency?
Well, the election time, T-boy. That's 1, 2.
Juma. Juma, did Kande campaign like this when he was running for himself? Don't ask me that question because now let me the supporter.
Okay.
I don't look on a business.
No, honestly, this is a very serious discussion.
Especially in Mona Juma Pasa in Mona me. The Juma can explain things about Kande. It's it can make her feel bad, even though I know like Kande again. But no, also it's good for talk. He shot himself in the foot. What he do really and truly, I think say realize how popular he was because he's not anymore. I think say una wrong in a way where una say in stronghold now. Also I say Cambia
and yeah.
In stronghold not to mean Cambia. Not to because I born. In stronghold I been in diaspora.
When I did a win, that's why I say that.
Because he won, and in the diaspora, he's lost every single person we've been believing him, and really and truly, most of we not been really sabi Kande, but we went with him because of we been believe say we needed something different, and at then the Insai promissory, he talk about the 2 parties them as in there are 2 twins them. As in Lucina and Alasan, and that's what he stated. And most of we don't believe that for a while. Say, these 2 parties them not mean good for Salion. So when he came and started preaching that, now being a voice of a difference, now make it get away. Unfortunately for him, I think say he wasn't patient enough, and unfortunately for we, I think he was greedy. It be one for be president. I go use in Brian word pauper. Because really and truly, realistically, if Kande or NGC would never have won this election, but the next election, they mean for Dede, and this election says something them for if them in Tawa, them forget 15-20% of the all kind way in the past. So I think, say, as Sierra Leoneans, we get for stop for follow the individuals there, so and I'm not saying follow the party, but we parties and supposed to get some kind of ideology. You need to stand for something, and most of we parties don't stand for anything. Now make up to today, we just say vote on tribal lines, or we vote on personalities. And if we carry on to do that, and we continue to get for good before this one.
Yeah. I agree with you. And for comeback, just for the benefit of we viewers and listeners, I don't hate Dr. Kande Yumkela as a person. I admire his achievements as an individual, but I had red flags about his political aspirations from day one. And I think I've done mention, and in September 2015, I wrote an article about him questioning his credibility. With all the credentials where he gets, I will not stoop so low and show that I'm that desperate for belong and go register myself in 5-6 different sites. So I asked if he's a political fraud. That was my question in my article where I write, and I highlighted the reason why I asked the question. I know each conclusion why I asked it. So with what you they see now, you call in Al-Hussein and Alassane, and going back to Alassane, just don't maybe answer my question. That you were just using the buzzwords progressive, alliance, change, the big words, see the way they talk, that's the way they make, yeah? So he does that a lot. Yes. Yeah. The wait man, and then they come for can use some of we don't aid them, for can learn from we, then they call we Kande. Come here. How can we fix the energy problem in this country? How can we fix this? That.
But yeah. He never asked right now.
But that's what he was doing. Go back and watch his videos. So
I agree. I think he controls his stage and acts well.
Right. He's charismatic. He's a good orator. He's likable as a person. When you see him, there is no reason for you to see him and not like him. Hardcore members of APC and SLPP. So people saw an alternative, so they gravitate towards him. And he won hearts and minds. I know people who can Kela. Tiba, we talked about it here. How many people where it makes suffer, we end up lose, we don't sacrifice and help build SLPP, where SLPP be there at the wilderness. They sacrificed everything. At the last minute, they saw someone that they believed in to say, this person go bring what in Sierra Leone need and decide for say that they support them. And it just dropped them like that.
And a lot of them don't left them at the wilderness guys now, political wilderness. They don't go anywhere anymore.
Right. So he left them there. He just did not do that and insult them for saying, now $100 That's the thing that's painful. More time I don't get for forget good.
Those little are not painful to me, but the worst of it all now the fact say, actually sit down and realize the impact we don't create in the lives of people. We don't sacrifice their homes, their marriages, their livelihood,
family, friends,
their conscience, and even up to the extent their integrity.
Yeah, and opportunities as well where they lost because.
And forget all those opportunities. Those are things that might come once in a while. But when somebody don't put up in integrity at stake for your own purpose, if at all safe you let them down with some amount of consultation.
You know how KKY behave these things. So this is a lesson for we all. Let we learn and watch the people who they follow.
Yeah, I agree.
We want false prophets in Kana Salon. Remember, we form in your new religion, Dina Abaso. Remember? Muslim people, they all sabi where sometimes come on a imam host them. We learn the Quran back and front. That Dina Abaso man come. It changed. People then follow, then go begin, then they be up. It's gonna then slum area, and they go recruit people them. That's so KKY behave. Where they just left them back by on herself. That's exactly what he's done. Like a false prophet. You know, and these things.
Them every day looking up and down, holding the Bible, singing hymns, say yeah.
Yep. And you know, say
going to church every Sunday, telling people they are Christians, yeah. I need to continue. That is stop.
These are the things. Family, they laugh.
I just want to tell you, but say make it keep in day job.
let not resign, eh?
Because that voice say,
you know, say can they make all convert? So we think about conversion.
Joe might not begin act, see boy want begin sing.
Yes. This is an election flavor.
Juma.
Yeah.
See, it is not about Kande, because at the end of the day,
it is about Kande.
No, I know. When we look at the process of the election, these are some of the things we have to consider greatly, because Kande is now leading on the front line.
Correct.
Of this particular election. So these are some of the processes we're talking about of how things will unfold when we come to the nitty-gritty of what the election should stand for. So how can Kande now all of a sudden convinced me as a civilian who sits on the fence thinking APC don't do anything, or SFPP don't do this? Oh, okay. What therefore convince me for make I believe say SFPP don't work? Because what Kande is selling right now is nothing other than the same fictional promises of change.
It's not selling change now.
No, exactly. You can't
sell continuity.
No, there's nothing to continue with. You know what I'm saying? That's the way to continue. Because
he said President being a good man, so if he don't begin, why you no go give him time, let it continue with he don't do?
With what?
Well, that's the question. So the reason we make some of them conversations here important, KKY, and you go one thing, say this is not part of the political process. It is part of it.
Is. Yeah.
Because people who up until few months ago, maybe don't resolve, say that they vote for KKY. Now you just don't left them. Now they don't know what to do. Where are they going to vote?
It's part of the political process, because again,
I'm confused.
There were voters who believe in him.
Right.
We not me ever believe say they will go and support SFPP, for example. We not me ever believe say they will go and support APC, for example. We not me ever believe say they will go and follow any other leader apart from Kande. So it is part of the process.
And part of this process, and this is why it pains me a lot, when majority of us end up blaming the ordinary voter. Oh, then people are them fool. They're not everything they vote for. Then they now for one polo, one t-shirt, 20,000 leons and 6 corporates. But here are the educated ones, the likes of KKY, we're not able to succeed in our SLPP, call them names, but then now they sing them praises and say that the best person for rule Salone. And in they go join the alliance because they put Salone first, they won't forget inclusion. What should they include? What are you including? What piece? How about the people they killed in Pademba Road prison that you were mute about? August 8, 9, and 10. Are you trying to say it was okay to kill those people because Paupa, they not support Paupa? Because now that's what they say now. And indeed, looking at their action, just justify waiting Fatima Bio say the only 2 Sierra Leoneans are SLPP. So Kande Yunkela agree with that for say he is only a true Sierra Leonean when he becomes a member of the SLPP. You don't have to take a party card. You don't have to have, because you not get party card in the first place, but you aligning with them, associating with them, just don't justify waiting Fatima Biobini say that the only two Sierra Leoneans. And because now that Insai say to EU supporters, where I want to go negotiate on our behalf, for good things, but some of you know they think on a piece another on $100. Well, now I don't left you now on a party. He resigned from the NGC. So if you don't resign from NGC or you don't abandon the party,
they say you know resign, no, because
okay, you don't resign, but you decide, then do convention. You decide, say, you know the B flag there. Not so the party decide, though. KKY decided that he's not going to run for president under an NGC ticket.
So under which ticket you want for run for president?
Nothing, because he don't sell game to Madabio.
So he's not interested anymore to become a president, right?
For this time.
What's my interest now?
For this time, for put Salon for. Eabo
saying the next one, then go gam
under SFPP political party.
I say Eabo.
Kalande Longo.
Eabo.
Say go be the next candidate.
Kalande Longo.
For Paupa.
Lord have mercy.
Kalande Longo for me.
He don't lost that. KKY had an opportunity, and like you say earlier, if he had waited it, he gets chance. APC, after them they overthrew them, in 1996, I think they got, was it 5 seats or so, but not much really. Okay. In 2002, they got 21 seats or 26, between 21 to 26.
It is good.
Right? So you see, from 5 or so in 1996 to Amos. In 2007, what happened? They got majority seats in parliament and they won landslide. They were in opposition. So KKY, you will get 4 seats. If you had worked, within that 5 years there and show people, say, I am the alternative for Sierra Leone, you will get an opportunity for increased seats then there, and even be the decider for 2023 elections. Because then, if there was a runoff, or if there's going to be a runoff, then if your party been still there and strong, now you decide who say you want for pitch tent.
Oh, Juma, let's say KKY was active in the past 5 years of the election. He will not be in the position that we are right now.
What do you mean? Clarify for the people. Okay. I know what you're saying, but clarify.
I mean, if KKY don't stand the grounds of actually representing his constituency and being a full-blown member of parliament, holding government accountable of the mishaps of government activities or government dispensation of power and how they run parliament, and if he has been active in participating in the right parts of voting he be represent, because he don't make a known to visit within the past 4 years, he was supporting the government undercover. So he was not really active.
No, he not been undercover. He actually tell me and demonstrate.
No. He actually tell me after now he don't disclose and say he was serving alongside the government's favor over the past 4 years without people noticing him.
Well, people like we know because
we know because some of the things that we do were blatant. They were not. They were not in any shape or form getting nothing for those holding government accountable. So if he be not actively involved in the political process of parliament, you are not supposed to be in parliament just to be seen opposing, but raising concerns of certain issues then. Yes, you go agree and disagree with government policies, but those policies should be discussed in parliament and una go through the lengths at which una go agree and disagree, and then una form a solution. Never been in that situation.
All the excuses where Paupa government make, my KKY make out for them. Yes, Femi.
Guys, the how they can put some the role of the opposition now for keep the government honest.
Yeah.
That is the role of the opposition. and that's what makes it a democracy. Because if not to that, then now rule them with the rule, like a king and queen. The reason why there's an opposition is to keep them honest, for question waiting and they do, because it's supposed for benefits the people of Sierra Leone.
People, yeah. So are you saying Kande was not playing that role at all?
Well, not to me say na Insai. Na Insai he say from term he don't decide with government behind the scenes. So na man we read a lot. Sometimes we no read Shakespeare boku.
Well, to be honest to you, that was betrayal of his political party in the first place.
Of course it is. But
Betrayal.
then but that's the problem we have in Sierra Leone. As I say, we political parties need to get some kind of ideology. If you don't have that, then there is a problem. You get to understand, say, now this I stand for. If you look at America right now, you get the staunch I will call it Republicans. We're not go ever do certain things them where the Democrats and they do, and likewise the other way around, because they stand on anything and they. But in Sierra Leone, we don't have that. Now we could see ministers in the jump from one party to the other because they don't really stand for anything.
So even where let me just butt in, please. Where KKY now we don't make this decision. What he demonstrated and manifest to Sierra Leoneans is that I was only using NGC as a launch pad because I had no alternative.
But he still hasn't got no alternative.
No, at the camp, I say, where this don't happen now, and that it don't demonstrate to we. So he never believed in a third force. He never believed in the progressive politics loan force. He's just using it because it sounds nice. Salon force, as we don't analyze now, they go join the Alusain and Alassane where you say, don't wreck Salon. And you've been, this President Bill government, don't they do the excuses. Now, KKY, they make come for them. He's the one where make clear people. Because since in time na parliament, all the opposition has been against APC. All. That's one. Two, my president and Dr. Kande Keller, I'm not making this up. But now 5 years down the line, now I don't tell we say, let we support all waiting President Bill don't do and let we get a second time because me feel saying are the best person for Usalon. So you cannot talk about the election process in Sierra Leone without mentioning some of the things Dr. Kande Keller.
I don't understand. In what? In a positive note or in a negative?
All the things that I don't say so right.
Because in role in politics hasn't been of any use to civilian politics. In do because President Biogo visited Nakambia for gain momentum for himself. Not because of Kande, because with or without Kande, he's still a good Kambia anyway. He's the president of Sierra Leone if he chooses to do so. But at this point in time, we're saying, what did Member of Parliament Kande Kole Yumkela did for his constituency for 5 years in Parliament? These are the questions I always want to ask. Did he do anything? Did he lobby for his people? Did he bring any kind of developmental projects in this constituency? What
now,
did he
sadly
do?
enough, and NGC now they run the council in Cambia, if people don't know that. The chairman for the Cambia District Council was an NGC person. And he began 3 other, MPs them from Cambia. So what is going to happen to all those? Because they're not they feel seats in Cambia. They're not they feel, I doubt if they feel member of parliament thing, if they even did.
Well, Alusan just asked the question, see, he understands CKK the contest for parliament seats under SLPP and not NGC. How true is that?
I don't know about that, so I cannot speak to that. And how would he contest under SLPP if he's not SLPP? He's in an alliance and he's not a member of SLPP. So that's not feasible.
Well, I think a couple of months ago, I heard one of his members who lives in the diaspora, I think in America, highlights this same concern we don't also say all members of NGC, when they don't form this alliance, they go and withdraw their candidacy and place their candidacy for SLPP candidates.
But you can't place your candidacy for SLPP if you're not a card-carrying member of the party.
Well, that's not the conflicts where the guy with the highlight say how
you not they work that way. That's not how it works.
People are already we're not a member of SLPP political party, so then they step down for them. So basically,
you can step down because until you angry SLPP the advantage, but you know they carry symbol, so you're out of the question.
Yeah, you're out of the race.
So you're not contesting. That's what I mean. So
they're not contesting.
There are two people.
But you get see, what in Canada don't do right now, it don't put away every member of the NGC will get any kind of political aspiration. Because in forming this alliance, it means all the NGC members of parliament that we will have for contest for any position are not going to contest against SLPP in that same constituency. So that means they are all going out of political.
Exactly, yeah.
Which means if then we don't invest for world representatives, if then we don't invest all these years for become mayor, what's going to happen with their political career now?
It's done and dusted.
Just by kind of saying we're going to form an alliance with SLPP. So everything we stand for as NGC is totally irrelevant for the next 5 years of politics in Sierra Leone.
So
dramatic genocide.
That's the deal. So kill NGC in our favor. So
okay, sad but true, and that's the fact of where we are right now. Again, if you're watching Sierra Leone Media Live on YouTube and Facebook, you watch we discuss the review of the political process where they unfold right now in the next coming election come June 24. Over to you, Juma.
So I wanted to address Stephen's point here. He said, but Sam left C4C and joined the Red Boys. What's your take on that? So there's a different scenario altogether. One, Sam Sumana may have still been a member of C4C, but he was not the chairman of C4C. He was not
a member of C4C.
No, at the camp, because he stand under C4C as flag bearer, okay, up until presidential election in 2018. So we'll use that as ECsl for the benefit of Stephen in question. Sam Sumana have been flag bearer of the C4C. That's it. In 2018, he was not the chairman of the party. There was a chairman. One. Two, in parliament, he had no say because you get the C4C leader of parliament, and you get other 7 MPs then. So KKY actually was what? He was just not the member of parliament, but also the leader of the NGC. And him betraying people. Sam Sumana left the C4C. The C4C continue to operate. You still have the operations. You get people that are waiting at C4C right now. We don't join SLPP. They did not join C4C. They did not join APC because Sam Sumana said they go back to APC.
Yeah.
So, Stephen, I hope you understand that difference. So, completely different things. And Sam Sumana, by virtue of imposition, be the NSA will hold him accountable. Whereas KKY is a representative of the people of Gambia under the NGC ticket. And he betrayed them the way he did, even before Parliament closed. So that's the difference.
The reason why I'm not going to make the comparison between Chief Sam Sumana with Kande, now some of the things they don't highlight, so but also Chief Sam Sumana wiping hand of NGC over 4 years ago, 2 years ago, right? So not to say it gets right down to the 11th hour, we know for say NGC they go into political campaign for going to the next election and I mean C4C they go into the next election, he decides when I'm not interested no more. He did that like a couple of years ago.
Right.
And C4C was still intact with all their membership, all their members of parliament were still all intact. So him leaving C4C does not compromise C4C as a political party. He was the flag bearer candidate, but had no other executive role in the party structure.
Correct.
So as far as Chief Sansumana is concerned, he can work out of C4C at any given point in time. And besides, he was selected to be the flag bearer. It was not voted for. They selected him. So he still has the mandate to move on if he wants to. But we all don't see Chief Sansumana in movements away from C4C for come back to APC where it always did. But Kande was never a member of SLPP. As a member of SLPP in career.
2018, he had never voted.
So if he don't participate as a member of SLPP from this alliance, he's still not SLPP. So I don't know what the constitution of SLPP says for people who want
to vote for President Bio and even make excuse for and say the economy in bad one, not to President Bio in fault.
Can you imagine that? I heard that as well. The economy all over the world is bad.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with civilian?
Wow. You say you go join here and become a Mami cost then at the other side there. Then they cost Mami cost. But you prefer for go join the one where they kill people there.
Killing is normal in his environment. So that's why he finds it not unusual.
Yes. So social media Mami cost is so painful to you prefer for join the one the way they slaughter people there. Indiscriminate shot and all go put fire, mass killing at Paremba Road.
Well, for endorse that, he never made any complaint about it. He never made no press release, nothing that will condemn all those atrocious activities. But that just shows, because at the end of the day, how you put Salon first. How does Salon matter to you most when you haven't stood up for the people that are going through serious economic struggle at this point in time? How you go put Salon first, where the people and we don't help support your political party for the past 5 years, you just don't abandon and neglect them? How you go put Salon first? Because these are all civilians. If you don't put your people first, where they're closer to you, we don't give you their moral, physical, emotional, financial support for the past 5 years, how you go put Salon first as a nation? Because they say charity begins at home. So I make all these examples because I look at Dr. Kane Yunkela as somebody we know to then they teach education. Now in they teach with mandate.
Exactly. So if they can't ask or learn from them.
If you're teaching white people, you should ought to know better. I want to ask, we waste done I also they ask these questions. And these questions were not relevant to you 5 years ago. Now they are very important to you. How comes? Again, I heard your last interview, whether it was the BBC or so, you were talking about bringing Sierra Leone, comparing Sierra Leone to Ghana.
Who?
Wow. That's the Sierra Leone you want, the Sierra Leone way to compete with other sovereign states like a Ghana. Wow. Really? Ghana? They want for compare Salon to right now. Ghana, then they far ahead of us. Way miles ahead. We not even they think for put together structures themselves for make we able for begin use them templates. Use, not so apply for make we begin use them templates that will not get the structures they yet we don't put together. And the reason why make those structures will not be put together by yourself It's because you don't have that skill set. You might be a good, maybe staff within the UN for renewable energy, but what sort of benefit has renewable energy brought to Sierra Leone? Over your 10 years of reign as head of UNIDO, I don't understand. The one single thing where you get really closer to renewable energy, now salon, we get your footprint, now death trap. Are you not really serious about getting things done? Because all the lectures that we did all over the world, people should be looking at you and ask you questions. How have you applied some of these skills into your country to make a difference in renewable energy? When are your own expertise that? And we don't have nothing that can show for renewable energy in Sierra Leone. We the one with the sky for bring solar concept, renewable for lobby for them for me and get tax break. I think it's a shame. Because the way how we look at things right now, and the way how you don't get this kind of energy where you want for begin one up because the game they can't start, they begin one up now. And they one up here, I don't ready. Done with all those fanciful talks, because that's not only at the thing where they change salon anymore. They are done. Because at the end of the day right now, what thing will they look at? Now, how much impact can you make in a government that you have supported for 5 years? We still haven't seen any gains. How can we be convinced to say, yes, you are going to make a difference going forward? How we go begin feel say, well, okay, now use President Bieli, use you no more for this short period of time because you want for gaining popularity for winning election. After that, it dump you back again. Nobody knows. Or what if you don't get your paycheck where you get for this campaign and then you sit back and say, well, that's it. I thought you're not going to be involved in politics anymore because if you still run for member of parliament, on what ticket? I want to know, because if you run under NGC, then what happens to all your membership? We for one under the same ticket. Is it just you that is NGC and nobody else is? Or you run under the SLPP ticket? It is very much interesting to know what ticket you're running under if you still want to be a member of parliament. And Usai left all you possibly potential member of parliament, they will be done in at the scorecard as well for 1 day. Are you going to abandon them just like that again as usual? Or
I don't think he's gonna run anyway. So
well, I heard about it that he wants to run. He said they run for member of
don't pass nomination, don't close, T-boy.
Well, sometimes they're not nominated.
Yeah, nomination don't close, and if
well,
you
you'll be surprised if you do secret nomination. You never know.
No, there was no secret. So for Brown,
you're doing nomination quietly. I had a friend who was nominated a couple of weeks ago. It was just him and 2 members of him in Independence Party. So it can be the same.
True, but I go expect for win if in a secret, who that go vote for you? But the devil.
When I go campaign at Cambia, we will know exactly who side they go contest.
I'm not sure he's not going to run. But the point for me, it doesn't matter whether he runs for MP.
No,
or
it
not.
matters, Juma, because you know why? What is going to be his role in this next government?
For me, the reason maker say no matter, it will not make any difference to the people of Sierra Leone. So it doesn't matter. So that na X at the counter mass, him being in parliament or whatever. But interestingly, I wonder if people sit back and watch or maybe think a little bit to say, what will it be like if it goes wrong and it doesn't go my way? How KKY go? But maybe that's the gamble that people wants to take,
Well, that's high risk. But to me, my take on this whole issue of the alliance is not so to do with winning the election. It's not. As far as I'm concerned, it's about making money. Because
so let me ask you, if KKY had forged an alliance with the APC, would you be this hard on him and be disappointed?
At some point, I will be a little bit hard on him at some point, because I would have asked the questions, why were you not in support of them throughout the 5 years in parliament? I would have asked those questions, because to me, it will still be the same. Now, sometimes you don't say something is coming out of this. But when you look at the two major political parties, one they will give you upfront benefit, which is finance. And the only person who will do that right now than the incumbent. APC will not give you upfront benefits like that. And you're not going for Elon APC, they're hopeful, say they win the next election.
Right.
It's not 110% guaranteed. So basically,
in gamble is let me take what's available now.
They said the bad in hand is what to
deal with the consequences later.
Of course. So as far as me concerned, if Ibn go and support APC in this alliance with the form, so I go for don't still question. I'm saying, okay, why now you want to support APC? What's it make you not been there intertwined with what they were doing as in holding government accountable for the past 5 years in government? What's it make you not be don't come out and do similar kind of press releases them of all the things that will don't happen at the country where the people of Sierra Leone disagree with? What's it make you not be known they ask questions about the president in traveling spree where you see the change salon? What's it make you not be the ask questions about why the president not forget audited in government of this particular year in vice president and the office of the first lady? What's it make you not be don't complain with and sack the auditor general? What's it make you not be don't complain with X and X and X and X and X and so many things that don't happen at parliament for the past 5 years? Then now all of a sudden you can't support APC? Why? I will have asked those questions. Why?
That's a deep one. Say, Tony Bex, welcome. We missed you as well. It's been a while. Indeed, true art for talk, but there is God who T-Boy, let's go back and try for just summarize the election process. So we'll try for round up for today. And we continue to apologize to reviewers them for the technical glitches and the breaks. We're trying, then they fail to, but they work. We'll try our level best, and we appreciate our understanding and patience with we. Over to T-Boy, just the election process altogether. We are how many days counting to June 24th? Let me see here.
30 something now, 37 or 38.
So 14.
Mm-hmm.
36 days, maybe.
36 days, okay.
That's 7 days, yeah.
Well, I think 37 days to go to June 24 elections 2023. And I believe, say, most of the discussion this evening, now the fact, say, we want for look at the election process and then do a quick review on and highlight some of the challenges of ECsl, highlight some of the misfire. How you call them?
False start.
False starts. Highlight the issues of false starts of ECsl. What are some of the challenges then we ECsl go face if we lead up to this election without putting things in place? What are some of the things that we ECsl don't do? We not going to be in the interest of Sierra Leoneans, and they've been very much adamant for make a U-turn and review most of them processes they really don't do, even though they not go by the books of within the elections manual they talk about. So in that regards, I think say we don't talk seriously about the process of the election. We don't talk about whether we use the PR system and how the PR system will be effective. But Juma don't make them clear to him, say, you don't really care which kind of system we use, whether PR system, constituency-based or ward-based. As far as we're concerned right now, the people of Sierra Leone need to collect their voters' ID card and go out on votes on June 24th, because that's the only thing they have left in their power for make a change. And that change way President Bio been talk about 2018 election debate, presidential debate, that the same change people then for go for vote for from June 24. because it was based on the change that fuel price don't go up, the change that rice don't go up, the change that corruption is extremely high, the change that dollar price don't increase. And when you make those comparisons right now, from 2018 to 2023, what they so now 6 or 7 times higher. That's not the change where you for vote for. If you believe, say, they get the best of voting President Bill don't do within the past 5 years, then vote President Bill. I believe, say, this particular election is not much to do with policies, manifestos, and all that stuff. It's got a lot to do with deliverables of the incumbents and satisfaction of service delivery to the people of Sierra Leone. That's the reason why people should vote this election. We know for say APC might be in the position of winning the next election, but if they do, then they will be held accountable for anything we then ready for put in place. We're not going to go down well to the people of Sierra Leone. I think, say, what in politics don't bring within the past 20 years in Sierra Leone now for make sure, say, everybody don't become alert to politics. Now, politics is not just a game for the few, but it's a game for all. Because whether you like it or not, your life that you live every day depends on the decision politicians will make on your behalf. Nanga for make you live, nanga for make you die. Nanga for make you better, nanga for make you lucky. Nanga for make you educated, nanga for make you become non-educated. Nanga for make you progress, nanga for make you depressed, nanga for make you get the best of the healthcare we you look for in a salon, the education, the entertainment, the social issues, the government policies, all these things put together. Now government and politicians then get for make up that decision day. So if you vote the right person, then your decisions will be considered. If you vote the wrong person, then your decisions will be trashed. So you get to think about what in this election mean to you. What in the process of the election mean to you as we approach the election now? We're now almost 37 or 36 days on election. We yet not 110% sure whether they will get any form of cancellation or move the election to another date. But as far as we're concerned, Juma don't give them 5 days mandate. If you see them load out whistle, say, pay, campaign don't start today. Alexef na coup they make na salon. The election, they go ahead. Alexef na tsunami, disaster, rain, flood, whatever might happen at salon, the election, they go ahead. I'm yet to be convinced with that, but it's in 5 days left for make the whistle start. We then go officially declare say campaign non start when 1 month exact to the time of the election. We could be May 23rd. We wait and see that day for come. When next week Wednesday, hopefully. If nothing not change, nothing not happen, campaign starts. We look forward to the next 4 weeks of campaign. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for accepting us, even though we get challenging period of time, this particular time, whilst with the broadcast. But we will try as much as possible for make sure say we keep the line going and we stick to what we believe in, whether it be it once or twice a week, come out and discuss issues that we really, really, really need for be discussed, because at this particular point in time, politics is the only way forward. Politics is on top of every agenda as of now, coming into the election month, winner next month. So thank you very much. Over to you, Juma.
Well. Thank you so much, T-Boy, Femi, and we viewers and listeners on Facebook and YouTube all over the world. I think it's been an interesting program. It would have been just dry to talk about the election process without discussing the players. You discuss the process without the players. So people will be wondering, why would I discuss NGC, APC, and SLPP? Because they are the players in the process. So they have to be discussed. So they go side by side. And T-Boy don't highlight everything. I should not go back to all waiting they don't say. And the only thing we may want for add now that you have one choice to collect your voter ID card and go vote. Because now when you vote first, when you collect your ID card, you're able to vote, whether not charcoal or not. Collect that one day first and Olam. Don't allow to be hoodwinked, because we've been seeing they even begin to start propaganda for let people and go burn their ID card them. How can you be so evil for deprive people and say this ID card is bad, they say low burn them? No, nobody not tell you for burn your ID card. All our force, whilst decision that they make. We are stuck with this, that's what we're going to vote with. So prepare for go vote and just be rest assured that your votes will be protected, regardless who that you vote for. This election, attempts will be made to rig the elections, but no one will be able to steal the people's votes and the people's voice and the people's choice. That is not going to happen. They will try, but they will not succeed. That's one. Two, as T-Boy stated, these elections is not even about APC and SLPP. It's not about this policy or that policy. It's not about promises. It's about you voting for what you voted for the last time, as T-Boy stated, now been changed, now you been vote for. Just use them 4 or 5 things, then they will give you reason for vote against the incumbent then, and see if those 4 or 5 things where you been vote for against the incumbent, if then think that they don't better your life now, then stay with these incumbents. But if they don't affect you, pass out them, they affect you before, then it's your time to vote for change. I'll say you not get for vote for APC, because the reason I make a mention APC, because they're not the only formidable alternative that we have right now among the 6 or 7 political parties we get presidential candidates, including the SLPP. But with what we have right now, waiting President Bio in government don't show we, waiting the government don't demonstrate to we that they're not capable in providing the services we Sierra Leoneans need. They're not capable of protecting the interest of Sierra Leoneans. They are not capable of providing a platform for people to achieve their aspirations. They're not even capable for provide an atmosphere for let people dream of waiting they want for be tomorrow, because their today is not addressed. So these are the few things. And if you decide for votes, whichever way, just remember, say, after June 24, you are stuck with that person that you voted for the rest of 5 years, for another 5 years. So if you vote for the same voting system right now, then you're stuck with that for 5 years. Don't complain. If you vote for an alternative change, just believe, say you go try for push the alternative, just like we will do, and we'll commit to that here, that if APC can have power as an alternative government, we'll hold them accountable, just like we're doing the government right now. So just know, say you get for participate in the process for let you hold APC accountable if not then win the elections and form government. So over to we all. We encourage you to follow and share, and make sure you subscribe to both with YouTube and Facebook, because Election Watch Net get for Camo. And when Election Watch Net they start the program now, we not get for the tell on us from 10 a day. We just call on no more now. Local Woodpa. Watch Net, the cow KKY they dance, we don't pump up. We say get for pumped up for the election. So now 36 days old. So now we'll get up. I love you all. Stay blessed. And we'll see you again soon. Over to you, T-Boy. T-Boy, you. I'm going to talk you talk right now.
All right, so thank you very much, Juma. I'm not going to be back again. For what you don't say, so now they will end the program for today, and we want to extend with thanks and appreciation to all the people who are watching for today's program. We might have a program tomorrow that is going to be an interesting one, to another interesting program tomorrow. So don't forget to watch out our space, because we're going to release the flyer soon. And that program tomorrow might not be as long as this, but it's going to be very short, precise, and to the point. Another interesting discussion. So this night is salon we all love. Therefore, love them to the best of your ability. And until tomorrow, for another edition of How They Go Inside the Republic, have a good night.
Yes, this na term for all salon people and them party them. Sarah Media will be bringing you a variety of programs ranging from documentaries to discussions, interviews, news, views, sports, and entertainment. Our programs will contain matters on development, governance, the economy, and issues that are of importance to Sierra Leone. So, no left BNO, because we get Bebe program then like salon discussion, meets the ministers, the president's hour, and the Gladi program. Look me, I look you. All this they start soon na www.sarahjmedia.org. Now who's term these? Somebody